yesterday, and on top of that, Pascal is on his A game, so it's the worst for him. But yeah, it just shows you need to control your emotions and don't crack under pressure.
And Katie, you know, that momentum that we've seen from Oliver was just, he was flying, you know, 3 poles, 4 wins. The last 4 races, he's only scored 11 points. Is that cracking under pressure?
I mean, he did the brunt of the work at the beginning of the season. We saw he was untouchable. I think towards the end part of the season, he struggled a bit more. He's not been so consistent. He's admitted that his strategy hasn't always been the best, but I still think he's not doing badly. You can't just take for granted that you're going to win every weekend. I think to win here yesterday, it would have had to have been a big shout. He would have had to have come first and Pascal have to retire. So I don't think it was given that he would do it yesterday, even if he was in the point scoring. But yeah, I think today it's going to also be a tough job for him. He's got to outscore Pascal, I think, by 11 points to become champion. And Pascal's on great form over here today in the dry.
Yeah, he's been looking so incredibly quick and is taking pole position and those 3 valuable points. We can just step back out of the way. It's going to be absolutely huge. But if you did miss what happened yesterday, and well, if you like a little bit of chaos and controversy in your motorsport, check out what happened yesterday, a reminder of how this fight for the title went down.
Round 13, a championship on the line. Oliver Rowland must finish second or better to be crowned the world champion here this afternoon. It's a title decider in Temple Offers. The lights go out and we go racing. Away we go. Mitch Evans, though, gets the advantage down towards turn 1.
Da Costa gets past, go right round the outside.
Energy is strong.
Verline attacks his teammate Da Costa down into turn 6. Verline's just about going to be able to hold on to it.
Magic paddle as it dries.
Evans boxes. Verline also follows him in there as well.
Oh! His contact with Sete Kamara.
It's Oliver Rowland, the championship leader, who spun.
What is doing, man?
Oliver Rowland's out. Mitch Evans wins for the first time since 2024.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. Thank you, guys.
Just wasn't expecting it, which I keep saying it, but it's true. But just very happy for my side of the garage, for the team. Double points finish for the team. You know, it's been a good day for what's been a really difficult season.
Yeah, it was an important day, a good race. Yeah, obviously starting from P9, finishing second is a good result. But yeah, we had a small taste of the victory. I think pace-wise, we are clearly the quickest. So I tried really hard. It was close in the end, but yeah, I think we need to be happy with today. Good points for the team, good points for the championship, and tomorrow is another chance.
Yeah, I was trying to make my way past the lap car and misjudged on the brakes and hit Stoffel in the middle of the corner. My fault. Nothing really to say too much more. It was a misjudgment on my side.
Yeah, I know one thing about you is that you are brilliant at bouncing back at these things. Obviously, we've got another race tomorrow, totally different strategy-wise with no pit boost. Are you looking forward to that?
Right now, no. But I have a 5-place grid penalty as well, which is not ideal. But yeah, we'll regroup tonight and we'll for sure be attacking tomorrow.
So an eventful race for the championship leader. We're going to take a look at the incident which was really heavily affected his race. As we go down into turn 6 here, I'm going to pause this clip here and just zoom in slightly. These are the cars to watch out for with this incident. You've got Roland on the inside. On the outside of him, Stoffel van Dorn, the other driver involved in the incident. We go into turn 6 a hairpin. There's wet conditions on the inside, one sort of dry line. Oliver Rowland makes contact with Stoffel van Dorn and spins around, loses the car. Critical moments for the championship. That put him out of the race entirely. And as you can see from the onboard here, he's up the inside, moments on the steering, picks up that understeer. Stoffel van Dorn is an innocent casualty in this incident, hence why Oliver Rowland has a 5-place grid penalty for today's race. And as he comes out of turn 6 and 7 here to rejoin the race, or at least that's what he would have been hoping for, damage on the car. The steering is completely out of line. That was him out of the race yesterday, with his team boss not looking to enjoy, well, not enjoying that scenario, considering the fight for the championship and the teams. Now we look at Da Costa and Hughes down into turns 3 and 4. And again, another of the Maserati spun around an innocent casualty. Da Costa picking up a 5-time-second penalty in the race yesterday. That dropped him off the podium from 3rd to 10th place. So the Porsche driver there of Antonio Felix Da Costa, who had slim hopes of winning the championship or still being in the fight, it all came to a conclusion for him. He managed to pick up 1 single point in yesterday's race. The incidents we saw there could be critical for the championship, and we potentially could see more in today's race.
Thank you so much, Billy. Yeah, it was an incident-packed race, wasn't it? But, you know, we pressed the reset button today. Again, the conditions are so different as well. 1 minute it's raining, 1 minute it's not. But, you know, it's a lot drier in general. Will that play into the advantage of Oliver Rowland? Because the pace at the moment that we're seeing from the Porsche is outstanding.
Yes, the pace of Pascal Wehrlein, but in all conditions, actually, has been pretty impressive, to be honest with you. I think Oliver Rowland starting in 8th, he's definitely not out of the game, and I can see him shuffling himself forward quite quickly. This is going to be a very different race to yesterday. We had pit boost yesterday, we do not today, so therefore energy and energy efficiency is going to be very important. He's pretty good at that.
So yesterday, Oliver Rowland had a 50 lead points gap at the end of the day, but now because of the 3 points from pole position, it's been reduced to 47. This is what Rowland has to do to clinch the title today. So he needs to be able to outscore Pascal Wehrlein by 11 points. So ultimately, he's got to be on the podium. I think he's got to be 4th or above, or 5th and above, with a fastest lap. And then obviously we have to look at where Pascal Wehrlein finishes. And then Barnard and Da Costa need to outscore Rowland by 11 and 16 points respectively. So a big moving feast at the moment, but quite simply put, Oliver Rowland has got to have a superb race. He's got to be up there in the top 4.
He's got to focus on his own race. He cannot dictate what everyone else does. He's got to focus on his own race. Make sure he gets to the end of the race with points, not like yesterday, where he has damage and a problem for the next race with a grid penalty.
Well, I'm sure the final preparations are going to be going underway. He will be getting into the calm approach, which he always seems to have at the start of a race, but we'll soon find out how the start goes for Rowland.
You know how to write it?
You know you've got a rubber, don't you?
Do I? Oh, yeah.
You want to play the game?
With one nudge for true.
Okay.
I was quite a cute baby, to be honest. I had a massive head.
Massive.
I give you a bit of that sentimental side, come on.
What's that?
That's true.
Do you know how to spell true?
Yes, I do, thank you. It's about efficiency, this word.
For sure that's true. How much was the fine?
15,000.
No. Do you know what the Milky Bar is?
No, no idea. Yeah.
I remember I got down to like the semi-final of it. Yeah.
I would have made millions, wouldn't I? I'd be on a yacht somewhere telling everybody, do you know who I am? I was the Milky Bar kid.
No one's asking. He skipped the Domino's biscuits last night.
Ah la la.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where the 85 kilos come from.
You ever had a hobnob?
What is a hobnob?
A hobnob is like a digestive, it's like an oaty biscuit with chocolate on top, and you can dunk it in your tea, and then you just send it in as one. It's quite a good size.
Very British.
Yeah, but most people tend to split it. But I don't have time for that. I just send it in as one. Don't write true just because you want to. Yeah, you said true, didn't you?
No, I said false.
Okay, thank you.
I've been driving you to the track. I'm not that bad. 4 times. You shouldn't be allowed to ever get your license done.
It's true.
How did you do that?
I don't know, I was playing with fireworks and all hell broke loose.
Fire to the neck?
No, I actually added a bit of fuel to it, but...
It depends.
Yeah, boy.
We got a point. Whether you count Swiss German and German as one, whether you count Portuguese, I kind of speak, but not very well. So.
Welsh, Scottish.
So if Swiss German counts, you have 3 as well.
Why am I thinking it's the one you couldn't believe, Liz?
Oh, we're terrible at this.
You know what? I think if that didn't happen at the beginning, I would have gone false.
I know Gordon, but I've never been on a cooking class with him, so. What did you put?
True. I can't wink.
You can't?
Do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I genuinely can't do it. Never been able to. Can't do it.
You would be Prime Minister or something.
I'm throwing in jail already if I was a politician.
I wouldn't vote for you.
The second qualifying session of the weekend got underway under changing weather conditions. But it was yesterday's race winner, Mitch Evans, who was knocked out of the group stages. And Jake Hughes, after crashing out, promoted championship leader Oliver Rowland to make it through into the duels. In the semi-finals, it was Dan Ticktum versus Oliver Rowland, and the Porsches, Antonio Felix da Costa versus Pascal Wehrlein. Rowland hit a puddle and couldn't match Ticktum and qualified in P3, but ultimately will start the race from 8th after yesterday's 5-place grid penalty. Pascal Wehrlein's pace was untouchable, and he clinched the pole position and all-important 3 points. He's now with Billy at the pad to talk us through how it all worked out.
So I'm delighted to be joined by pole sitter for race 2 here in Berlin, Pascal Wehrlein. Now, before we get into the laps, which were mighty, Pascal, we need to talk about the championship, because that's 3 extra points in your pocket, and you sounded delighted to secure those 3 points here today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not looking at the Drivers' Championship, if I'm completely honest. I know you guys from the media, you like to do that.
That's what we're looking at.
To keep the tension, which is clear, that's what you have to do. But, you know, our team targets are different ones. It's the team championship and the manufacturer ones. And it has already been quite clear the last couple of races as well. But, yeah, still, you know, mathematically it's possible. So, for sure, I will do my best and try my best to, score every race as much as I can. But it's still not super realistic.
Well, let's take a look at the lap, because this was significant. Got you pole position for the race that we'll have later on today. And I want to slow it down quite early on in the lap, because the first couple of corners, interestingly, were a point on the circuit where, if I pause it right here and zoom in for the apex here, it seemed really tricky to get down to the apex at turn 2, but you, compared to others, seem to always find the right line through 1 and 2 and to find that apex there.
Yeah, I had a moment on braking further back, so actually that was not my best turn 1, but I still managed to hit the apex, which was good. Also super close here to the wall. I lost the rear a tiny bit in turn 4, which didn't cost too much because it rotated the car nicely. And the rest was super clean. Yeah, I mean, on the limit, every lap was pretty good. My engineer just told me all my 3 dual laps would have been enough to be on pole position. So
your quarter-final lap, semi-final lap and final lap. So it did really seem that you were just in the zone out there today. And again, just up here.
And that corner was super tricky because it was wet on braking. And it's obviously different grip, And
you talk about being wet and braking. We also had water towards the end of the lap coming into the last couple of corners. It caught a few drivers out. We saw oversteer moments, snaps. But so you look fairly settled here.
Yeah, I tried to brake a little bit more on the inside because it was a bit wetter on the outside, which compromises the line, but I felt like it was giving me more grip. And 3 good laps.
Well, Pascal, I mean, right now you seem very calm and cool and collected, but we have a race where there's lots of points on offer. Coming into that race, what can we expect to see from you? What's the plan? What's the strategy?
Yeah, I do my best. I fight hard, and then let's see where we come out.
Short and sweet. So thank you for your laps. We enjoyed all 3 of them. Congratulations on pole position.
Thank you very much.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, Billy, and thank you to Pascal Wehrlein there. Whether or not he is thinking about a Drivers' Championship title, it's clearly paying off because the performance is coming. What was interesting, I thought, as well, in the semi-finals, when he went up against his teammate, Antonio Felix da Costa, he outperformed him in the same conditions by 0.6 of a second. I don't think we've ever seen that happen before in a semi-final duel.
Yeah, that's super impressive, and he's really on it. He's in the flow, but he's always been super good on these kind of strange asphalts. I remember in Puebla there was very little low grip, and he's a master of finding that fine line, not overdriving it, not underdriving it, and then, you know, he doesn't overpush it, doesn't make mistakes, and the lap comes together beautifully, and that's how you extract the maximum out of it.
And, you know, he did point out there that ultimately the big thing at stake here is the team's championship. And, you know, they've got that 20 points advantage, but they need to extend it even further. So are we going to see the two drivers working together? They haven't been very successful at working together in the past, but maybe they've put all of that behind them.
Well, that's what Florian Modlinger wants. He wants his two drivers to work together to achieve it. However, they're two competitors, and that's obviously something that we've seen has been quite difficult. I think in this circumstance they will. I would expect you'll see Pascal falling into the pack, somewhere in and around with Da Costa, and then they will use the energy efficiency they gain to actually try and deliver at the end of the actual race itself.
Yeah, team principals, obviously a critical role to play. They're the leaders, they're the gappers, they're basically the ones in charge. Now, we had the opportunity to go behind the scenes with the team principal at Neil McLaren, Ian James, and this is the routine that he gets up to on and off track.
A team principal varies actually from team to team, and if I take a look up and down the FE paddock, there probably isn't one-size-fits-all solution for that particular role. I've often described myself as really the only generalist within the team. I'm privileged to work with some brilliant, talented men and women that are incredibly specialised at their roles, be that the engineers or the mechanics or the comms or commercial team and so on. I like to try to keep an overview of everything and just make sure that everybody's got the tools that they need to do their jobs. There's so many different facets of what happens during a day at the track. The role that I do changes constantly, day to day, almost hour by hour, and that for me is something that I enjoy immensely. It's important to make sure that the whole team is very clear on the goals and the targets and have access to everything that we need. That, of course, takes an immense amount of planning. The atmosphere within the team is incredibly important. My role is to make sure the whole team pick each other up and give each other a morale boost, despite whether things are going well or not so well.
Every team boss has their own style, their own personality and their own way of creating a team environment. Ian's got a fantastic ability to do it through friendship, respect through kindness. He's genuine, honest, open. Everybody here respects him because of those qualities. I think that that's quite a challenging thing to do within our sport that's quite cutthroat.
Sam Bird takes his first victory for Neil McLaren. Come on!
Look at Ian James' inspired move to hire Sam Bird there. Fantastic stuff from him, the whole team.
When you're out here as a team, there's a real sense of camaraderie, almost a sense of family within the team.
Pole position for the first time ever for the youngster Taylor Barnard on the streets of Monte Carlo.
Well done, buddy. Hey, how does that feel, huh? Oh, thank you, Ian. It feels pretty good.
I think we have a good relationship with each other. Last year was obviously more about learning, so I spent quite a lot more time with him in terms of discussing what kind of things I should be focusing on. But now I've not really had so much of that, pretty relaxed and chilled, which obviously means I'm doing something right.
Ultimately, you're there to win, so making sure that everybody's focused on addressing each and every area that needs to be addressed in order to get back to that competitive level is crucially important.
Taylor Barnard in third position, a fantastic result.
I think that we've proven to be successful in doing that. If you look at our trajectory, it's definitely been trending in the right direction. So I'm proud of what the team's achieved.
Thank you for Ian James for taking us on that behind-the-scenes tour. And how beautifully put, respect with kindness from Sam Bird there. You know, he's also led Mercedes, before he got into his role at McLaren, to 2-team and 2-driver championships. So he's had an amazing career in Formula E, but McLaren are, of course, leaving at the end of this year, which means there is an opportunity for other teams to get their hands on Taylor Barnard and potentially Sam Bird. Alan, what can you tell us?
Well, I think Taylor Barnard, without doubt, is a star of the present, not just of the future. And he's been brought into this championship. He started just over a year ago, done fantastically well. I think he's also someone that now we could see being one of the hot seats. He's going to actually dictate quite a few positions, and they'll be waiting to see where he slots into. And for me, if I was a team principal today, I'd be trying to get him straight away.
So we obviously know as well there's going to be a space at Jaguar because Nick Cassidy is leaving. Who do we think might fill that spot, Andre?
Well, it's really unclear if Antonio Felix da Costa is going to stay at Porsche or going to Jaguar. So I think we have to wait a little bit, but there's something going on there for sure. And yeah, Nick Cassidy seems like he's joining another team with the Stellantis group. So yeah, a few things are moving around, but the interesting part would be if da Costa is not going to Jaguar, who is taking that hot seat?
And then, of course, Dan Ticktum as well. You know, he has really proved himself as a high-performing driver. Who do you think is going to be interested in him? Where could he move to?
I think Dan's very interesting. I understand that the team have already taken up the option on him. They had an option for next year. I think they've done that, and think correctly so, because he's really, I would say, blossomed in that team. That team's also blossomed with him. I think he fits very well there, and if I was him, I think another season there would be very good.
And obviously the fact that Ian James is leaving McLaren,
Yeah.
I mean, he is a phenomenal team principal. Look at his track record. Is he going to get snapped up somewhere?
Well, I hope so, because it would be a shame if not. And there is a team principal position available at the Jaguar team, so that would be a good fit.
You mean team principal position and the driver position at Jaguar? Possibly two people going down that road, maybe?
Who knows?
You never know.
Who knows? The rumour mill is going wild, and I love it. Now, you will have seen cars are moving on the way to the grid, but there is one car still stationary, and that is the one of Lucas Di Grassi. The team are working so hard to get it ready for the race after a big crash this morning in practice. Join us after the break as we will be live on the grid for more action. Berlin has been on the race calendar since the inaugural season of Formula E and has held dramatic races over the last 10 years. 6 of these were held in 9 days to conclude the pandemic-interrupted 2020 Formula E season. In the 10th round of Season 6, pole sitter Oliver Rowland led the pack around the first few corners, but the calm didn't last long.
There's a crash in the middle, it's Oliver Turvey. Turvey across, Bird wiped out. I think Nick de Vries is the other Mercedes that got caught up in that as well. Somehow they're all still driving.
Rowland controlled the race at the front, followed by Robin Freins. But behind them, the battle for the third step on the podium was raging between Andre Lotterer and René Rast.
Whoa, Rast goes for there! Ooh. What a bold move from René Rast. It hasn't really worked out. Lotterer comes to squeeze him, and Rast gets the move done, gets the inside. Lotterer's not impressed with that one. They're still side by side. Oh my... There's more contact. Rast is going to feed him out into the wall here, and he's up into third place. Oliver Rowland through the final corner in the Nissan takes his first win in Formula E. Second across the line is Robin Freins, and René Rast is going to get a podium for Audi.
Amazing.
And that's a win.
One of the most memorable of these was the Season 7 finale. The championship battle went down to the wire.
It is set to be quite the crescendo to the year.
Nick de Vries started on P13 for Mercedes EQ, with second-place driver in the championship, Eduardo Mortara, starting 11th. Ahead of them, things were looking good for Jaguar, who were in the hunt for both titles. Mitch Evans was third on the grid and the favourite to wrap up the championship.
Van Dorn on pole, Rowland alongside him, all 5 lights are on. We go green in Berlin, and Evans doesn't move, and he's been hit. Mitch Evans has been hit by Eduardo Mortara. 2 title contenders out instantly, and suddenly Nick de Vries and Jake Dennis are looking in the box seats. You could not have predicted it.
But that was just the beginning of the drama.
Jake Dennis has lost it, and Dennis has crashed out. What on earth is going on in this title decider?
Is the car not moving?
Mate, I've just destroyed the car.
With 3 of his biggest rivals out of the race, Nick de Vries had the World Championship in his sights. but it wasn't going to be easy.
And now they're 3 wide, coming towards turn 3, and this is the championship leader, and there's contact. The two Mercedes almost wiped out together. De Vries is on the marbles. He's now back behind the Porsches.
I feel like I'm a little bit of a target at the moment.
And he sent it. Oh my goodness me, Nick De Vries put into the wall by Pascal Wehrlein.
De Vries has got to remember the big pictures, winning the championship. He put himself in a bad position there.
The Dutchman regained his composure and crossed the line in 8th place, enough to secure him the title. Into the Gen 3 era and round 7 of season 9. Sebastian Buemi claimed pole position and held the lead for the majority of the race, but he had 2 Jaguars on his tail. Mitch Evans pounced first, easing past his teammate into second.
Evans is through. The Jaguars switched places.
He then set his sights on Buemi.
We're on board with Bird. Evans sends it.
Evans has taken 2 cars in 3 corners.
Next, it was Bird's turn.
And he's going round the outside and got it done.
But can he get it stopped? Kind of. Buemi's coming back at him. It was a huge send from Bird to the outside, and he's done it. Mitch Evans, victory in Berlin. A 1-2 for Jaguar. Jaguar back.
It's their first 1-2.
Come on, and that's a Jaguar 1-2 in Berlin. Yes! Come on!
Welcome to season 11 of Formula E. We're back on the lights out. Formula E is go. It's Evans. That's the first. Yeah! It's round 2. Absolutely sensational for the Briton. Double header in Jeddah is go. Body work in the wall. The DS Penske driver wins. Yeah! Oliver Rowland takes the victory in spectacular time. That could be a safety car, and it is. What a crazy race. Nato finishes first on the road, but it's victory for Pascal Wehrlein. 3rd victory of the season. The Swiss driver wins on the streets of Monaco. 3-time Monaco winner. But it is time to go racing in Japan. Stoffel Van Dorn wins. Yeah! And again, it is Oliver Rowland who takes victory. It's time to send it in Shanghai. Oh, spins it round. Side by side we go, and Gunther makes it easy. It's a 1-2 for DS Penske. Imperious drive from Nick Cassidy. Dan Tickton will finally become a winner in Formula E. Huge drama here in Berlin. Oliver Rowland out of the race. Mitch Evans wins for the first time since Sao Paulo 2024.
Hello and welcome back. We are here live on the grid just in front of our pole sitter, Pascal Wehrlein, who will be lining up there in a minute. Tom Brooks, great to see you back in vision. You loved it so much yesterday.
And I brought the sunshine with me.
Well,
he's claiming it all for himself.
If you bring the sun, you can come on this show any day.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Saunders, however, having lost the trial yesterday, is not here. Anyway, guys, it is time for a few race predictions, I think. I'm going to just do it in order today because it's going to make it a lot easier. So, Tom, you kick things off for us.
Well, I'm going to go
the win.
I just heard Billy talking about it, but I'm going to nick his prediction. Sorry, Bill. Taylor Barnard is my prediction for this one, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, joking, he was mine as well. I was just hoping I was going to be ahead of Billy in this one. Didn't think about you.
Take your next pick.
This man here, he's going to do back-to-back weekend race wins. Dan Tickton.
Fair enough.
I'm quite relieved no one's gone for the pole sitter Pascal Wehrlein, so that's my prediction.
I wanted to take that one. Well, I'm going to go for my friend Antonio Felix da Costa then.
Well, fine. None of you have gone for Oliver Rowland. You know, his fortunes must change soon. So I will go Oliver Rowland. And yeah, we will tell you the forfeit. It's a kind of unique take on a traditional German garment, but more will be revealed at the end of the show. We are going to let you guys go off and do a bit of a grid walk. And I'm sure Pascal Wehrlein will be lining up any moment. And yeah, we'll catch up in a sec.
Catch you guys in a bit. So, Andre, talking points. Who do we want to speak to?
Interview Bianca.
Yeah, let's speak to Bianca Bustamante. She's got a new role with the Cupra Hero team.
Hello, Bianca. We're interviewing you.
How are you, Bianca? Obviously a new role for you with the team this weekend before the test that we've got in the next few days here in Berlin. Excited to get behind the wheel of one of these cars?
Yeah, very. It's only been 2 races in with the team and they've put in quite a show. They obviously took the win in Jakarta and qualified P2 today. So yeah, good few days I've had.
And what do you think we're going to expect from the race today? Like any inside knowledge from being in the debriefs with the team of what they're expecting?
Surprisingly, the sun actually wanted to come out. So we've got a dry race coming up. Obviously, the team was expecting a wet race, so we've had to do last-minute setup changes to drive in the dry conditions. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, a team's qualified off pole, which I'm surprised which the team holds surprised about. So yeah, we've had a little bit of change with strategies and all that, seeing how we kind of go out with the race.
Keeping your cards close to your chest. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you behind the wheel. Good luck for the test that we've got coming up here in Berlin over the next few days. Andre, who else do we want to chat to here as we make our way down the grid? Robin Freund.
got Robin Freund?
Yeah, we tried to get him yesterday, but he was in deep debrief chat, so hopefully you can speak with us today. Robin, congratulations on a strong qualifying. Yesterday in the race looked like you could be on for a strong result, but the safety car potentially at the wrong time sort of unfolded your race in a negative way. Towards the end, you dropped out of the points. What are you expecting from starting higher up on the grid again today?
Completely different race compared to yesterday, obviously. As you say, yesterday it was wet and it was more of a pace race. Now it's all together and it's going to be a bit more peloton style. Everybody tried to save energy and try to manage yourself. But unfortunately, I'm in the middle of a war zone between Pascal and Roland, for sure, coming forward in lap 1 already. So I try to keep out of that. I don't want to be involved in the championship contenders here, but nevertheless, I also want to finish on the podium.
A lot of energy management, a lot of saving here.
Yeah, we had the power boost yesterday, so we have less energy today. And even in the wet, we needed to save a bit more than expected, so I guess there's quite some saving going on.
We're looking forward to seeing the race, Robin. Good luck for the race today. Robin Freund finished 13th yesterday. He dropped out those points towards the end of the race. Real shame for him because he was putting together a strong race, Andre, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. A very shame. He was so strong, and today as well, he's the best power Jaguar powertrain here on the grid. So yeah, he's a natural talent, so I'm not surprised.
I can see just up ahead we've got the McLaren of Taylor Barnard, and he's a driver that we were all trying to go for in our prediction. So maybe we should grab a little chat with him. Maybe Ian, if he wants to join as well. Guys, are you free for a little chat on the grid with us? Oh, sorry. Taylor, we'll start with you, mate. Obviously a strong qualifying and you're still in the championship hunt. Does that change how you approach today's race?
Nah, not really. I mean, the qualifying could have been slightly better from our side. The rain before the duels messed us up slightly, but obviously a dry track and a dry race now, and FP1 was pretty positive. So yeah, looking for a good result.
Ian, a bit emotional for your last race here with the team today, or how are you feeling?
I hope it's not the last race today.
The
last one in Berlin.
Yeah, no, it's the focus is fully on the next 3 races. So the emotions will come after the end of the season for sure. No, looking forward to seeing what we can do here, and then 2 more races in London to wrap the season up. So the excitement's building.
Taylor, we've seen you get aggressive with your racing, and you get your elbows out when you need to. Obviously going for the championship today, is it the same approach we're likely to see? Do you think it's going to be tight racing where every position is going to make a huge difference?
I mean, yeah, obviously this closer than ever, so I think now is going to be the most important time to be aggressive, but you can't be overly aggressive. It's got to be calculated, right? So yeah, I'll do my best.
Good luck for the race. Congratulations on a strong quali. 3rd in the championship, Andre, for Taylor Barnard. How impressive have you been with his debut season in Formula E?
It's always impressive to see that, because it's been so hard for newcomers to perform in Formula E. There's not many opportunities to test and find your limits, and he's shown so much maturity, so much talent, and yeah, it's a big contrast between how you see him off the helmet and with the helmet on. When he puts the helmet on, he's a beast.
He seems so cool and calm, like you say, without the helmet on, but with the helmet on, he is a very aggressive racing driver. I'd quite like to speak to Jake Hughes, if possible, get a quick word in with him and the Maserati team. He was obviously caught up in an incident in the race yesterday with Antonio Felix Acosta, who got a 5-second penalty. Let's see if we can get a quick answer from Jake. Jake, are we all right to get a Sorry, mate. I think Jake's busy, so we'll leave him be. But Andre, obviously, we've made our predictions at the top of the grid. It has really got warm, hasn't it? So how are you expecting this to play a factor?
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how the teams will go back to the setup they learned from the free practice one, where it was drier, it's hotter, tire pressures, what setup they go for. So, yeah, I think that was really important to get a good experience in free practice one. There it is.
We were lucky to be joined by Jake. It was sorry for us because we were trying to interrupt. We're busy on the grid as always, Jake. What are you expecting for today's race? Obviously, we're glad after the incident in qualifying to see you out here on the grid. How does it feel?
Well, like you said, I'm happy to be on the grid because for a while there it felt like we weren't probably going to make it. But the guys and girls did an absolute mega job. And we got out of pit exit, I think, with 34 seconds to spare. So literally to the last minute. In terms of the race, pretty chaotic, I think. One of the most energy-sensitive races in Formula E history, I think we're expecting. So probably at least half of the race with a lot of energy saving, a lot of fights, 2-3 wide as normal. And the race will be won in the last 5 or 10 laps.
Impressive. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you get stuck in there, Jake. Glad to see you on the grid. Congratulations, and look forward to hopefully a strong result and a turnaround in form from yesterday. Now we're going to throw to the back of the grid to join Katie.
Thanks, Billy. Yeah, it's absolutely great to see Jake out. Speaking of back of the grid, Lucas de Grassi has made it up to the back of the grid, which is also great to see after his accident this morning. We were just having a conversation, though. It's a bit of a mixed bag at the back of the grid between the rookies and the experience in Formula E.
Yeah, we've got Jean-Eric Verne, double champion here. Nick Cassidy just behind him. Lucas de Grassi, previous champion, just back there with a car that looks a little bit less Superman than it was earlier on. On the other side, Drugovic, who's doing his first race, and Seti Camera at the back. So it is a real mixed bag. But I think we should maybe try and come across to someone that I expect will be a real contender today, Nick Cassidy. So, Nick, this is an energy-sensitive race here at the back of the grid, not a big penalty, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we got caught off guard in quali, but as you say, not a big penalty, so eyes forward and still quite positive.
And from this point of view, if we think back to the energy-sensitive races of the past, that was year 40.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky and I've had a great team around me the last couple of years to make the most of it, but the game has changed a bit this year. The attack mode is very powerful, and the safety car risk is not as penalising, so let's see what happens.
You talked about getting caught out in quali. Can you just expand a bit on that? Was that car setup? Was that conditions? You thought it might be wetter than it was?
Completely. Car setup and pressures, and I think a whole lot of little things together meant the result was pretty bad, but head forward, I'm pretty confident of where we've been in the last couple of events, where we were on Friday, and I'm sure I've still got a good race car, so let's see for the race.
Good luck. Have a good one.
Good luck. Thanks, Nick.
If we maybe just look at the back, because we were talking about that accident from Lucas de Grassi, if you quickly come down here.
It's amazing that they've made it out in that short amount of time.
Sensational.
I don't think they've got the full Superman livery, though. That's the only thing that's missing.
They're half Superman. I think they're leaving Superman to Lucas de Grassi. If you look at this car, they've changed the chassis, also the bodywork as well around it. They got the car onto the grid, so he's going to start last. But if there's anyone that can pull something out of this one, it is Lucas.
It is. I mean, the team. You guys look pretty tired now. That was a big effort.
Yes. No. The mechanics did a great job. Actually, also the mechanics from Seine helped out, so it was a really awesome job.
A real team spirit here.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It's great to see you guys out on the grid. Just speaking a little bit about the experience compared to the rookies, is it going to be harder in a dry race for the rookies to be on the limit? Wet races, they present more opportunities?
I think it's going to be hard anyway, because it's a lot hotter now. It's a different condition to anything they've had over the weekend, and so it's going to be a voyage discovery for every single driver. For me, I think there's going to be one of these three drivers that will spring a bit of a surprise. I lean towards Nick Cassidy in this one.
Well, we'll see very soon. Back to you, Nikki.
Thank you, Katie. Now, in all my years of Formula E, there has always been one prankster in the pack. The king of the practical joke, the master of mayhem. It is, of course, Antonio Felix da Costa. But all jokers can be brought down a peg or two. We did our best.
Okay, Nikki, Antonio is on his way.
We are doing some fan questions. Haven't actually seen them, but I'm sure they're going to be great.
So we start off with question 1, 3 and 4, yeah?
Who on the grid are you better looking than?
I'm better looking than Jake.
Who's number 1 then?
You're better looking than Jake. So who's number 1?
Jake?
Okay, if Formula E went underwater, would you be the fastest swimmer?
I'd be a decent swimmer. All those surfing years.
You wear armbands when you go surfing though, right?
I heard a rumour that sometimes you wear armbands when you go surfing.
Me?
Yeah.
Those are fake news.
You've had a long career.
Okay, so we need to get some music to the garage, guys.
What is it now like? Good. Do you want to shimmy? Okay, we're ready.
Antonio, could you ask them to turn it down?
It's not my team, huh? They are too nice.
So the question was, you have had a long career in Formula E, but what is it now like watching younger, faster guys come into the sport?
Painful. Very painful.
Let's get the music back in.
I can see myself in them, you know.
I think they like this tune.
Get Dak to go speak to Andre, turn the music down.
Do you know Andre? You know Andre?
I know.
Tell him to go have a word.
That's a pup. You see, I stand up, they...
See? That is commanding. That's what a Formula E champion can do in this pit lane.
Okay, we can go on to question 2.
So, do you miss being the main driver at a team?
Who asked this with this?
It's anonymous. There is.
Yes.
How often do you get recognized outside the helmet?
All the time. It's really hard for me to walk around on the streets.
Championship with Porsche and Nissan Bahrain. Sorry.
Oh, he's not happy. He's not happy with that.
You picked the worst spot in the pit lane.
Sorry. I think it must be the humidity. No one's thinking straight.
How was it being a world champion at a one-track calendar?
How was it being a Formula E world champion, but at ultimately a one-track calendar?
Now I'm sure you're doing it on purpose. But anyway.
Oh God. Sorry. Oh my God, it's my mum. Sorry.
Now I know why.
It's normally an emergency.
Now I know why you guys don't work for F1. He's taking your phone call.
Sorry, mum. Hi, is everything okay?
Hey, darling. Yeah, are you busy?
You're trying to make me walk out.
Well, I'm not that busy.
All right, love. I'll let you go then.
Okay. Good luck. Call me back if you need anything.
All right, bye-bye.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going then, shall we?
Okay, so on to the next questions.
I know. Here's a good one. Have you ever lied to get out of media day?
No, but I should. After today, I should have, yeah.
What is your Uber?
Is that wheel tight enough?
Okay, Nikki, I'm going to come in.
My Uber rating?
Yeah, what is your Uber rating?
Like a 4.7. Way back, I'm a little bit annoying.
So we need to do the stats.
Oh, for the intro. Okay, sorry, we're running out of time.
Well, I was just in the middle of an answer, man.
Because I think you're going to be pulled away in a second. So should I just do a quick intro while we're here before you go? Sorry. Hello and welcome. We are now going to interview our 2022 Formula E World Champion. He has
2020.
6 wins. I thought it was 6 wins, 22 podiums.
No, the year was 2020, not 2022.
Sorry. It's the jet lag.
Action.
How's it being a number 2 driver, brother?
Why?
I just pranked you so good. This whole interview was me leading it.
I've got an ear with Jake telling me what to say.
That was good. Mate, I was in
I love this, but we just started a very dangerous game. We just started a very dangerous game. Good job, good job. That's it?
Yeah. And cut. What a great sport, Antonio Felix da Costa, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you know Antonio better than anyone on this grid. Have you also been taken down by his sort of, you know, tricks?
Yeah, almost. Once, like, he passed me his helmet and he, you know, does a drop trick and everyone panics because it's the worst thing for a driver to drop a helmet on the floor on its head. But I sensed it, you know. I see him coming. I'm a hard one to prank.
Oh, you now
but,
know.
Yeah, Antonio's great. He keeps the driver community together. He's really representing the camaraderie between the drivers. So we're all really happy to have him on the field.
He is such a brilliant brilliant character. You're totally right there. We're standing next to his car. He's got a lot to play for today. You know, he wants to showcase to the team that, yeah, I can outperform my driver Pascal Wehrlein, but my teammate Pascal Wehrlein, but at the same time, he can't get in his way. He can't cause any problems, any incidents like we might have seen before. In fact, speak of the devil, Mr. Antonio Felix da Costa, come and join us. No pranks this time, I promise. We might be. Yeah, there we are. We are live. We just played out the little prank that it was basically Dennis that is responsible. It was all Jake Dennis's fault.
Well, I actually blame Andre a little bit because I think Andre turned Jake into a little bit of a pranker when they were teammates a few years ago. So, but
not far wrong.
Full credit to Jake. He got me good, but the comeback's coming.
Yeah, come on. What is the revenge? I promise you we're not going to tell anyone.
I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. If I tell you, I have to kill you.
He's so easy to prank, this one.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I got a million ideas, and I got to wait a little bit because yeah, good.
Let's plan it.
I got to wait a little bit because I don't want he cannot be expecting it, you know. But it might be
just bam out of nowhere.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Da Costa's coming for you.
Stay tuned.
Well, while we're having lots of fun here, time to turn our attention to the business end of what's going on. Ultimately, what is your goal today? Where do you think you're going to finish?
My personal goal?
Your personal
what
goal.
What are you allowed to do,
yeah.
and what do you want to do?
My personal goal is to win
Andre.
the race. It's to win the race. I would love to win the race. I've got great memories from this place. As a team, we just got to score as many points as possible, outscore Nissan, and keep those championships alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck. We're looking forward to seeing some proper wheel-to-wheel action between teammates. You never know. Just play it safe. Right, let's go down to Alan Manish, who is out on the track, down at Turn 1, a place where we've seen so many incidents over the course of the weekend. What's going on, Alan?
Independent whether it's wet or dry, here at Turn 1 there's a lot of action. We saw earlier on in free practice Lucas de Grassi getting 1 metre offline as he entered into here, locked up the brakes, aquaplaned, ended up in the barrier over there. Game over, wasn't able to qualify. But in the dry, it offers up so many opportunities because you're braking and turning. Very difficult not to lock that inside left front wheel. However, if you do get your braking stable into here, you can overtake 3-4 cars wide, I would expect, at certain points in the race. However, you've got to be careful that you get to the pinch point here at the apex ahead of the opposition. One other factor about this corner, it's also the place for attack mode. So you come so far offline, carry so much speed into it to make sure you can run through, get the attack mode, and then get your big acceleration down to turns 3 and 4. I think Turn 1, at the beginning of the race, you'll see so many cars fanning out together. But then after that, this is where there's going to be a lot of action.
Excellent stuff there. Thank you so much, Mr. McNish. Now, get ready for the latest instalment of all-electric action here in Berlin. We are less than 5 minutes till lights out. Right, okay, so we are minutes away. Should we go for a little wander? A little walk and talk? It always sort of slightly blows my mind how late in the day the drivers leave it before they get in the car. I'm assuming because when the temperatures are quite warm, is that just to stay cool before jumping in and putting the helmet on?
Yeah, mixture of things. You want to speak as long as possible about the different scenarios and strategies that you can go through with your engineer. Sometimes you wait for your last little pee that might happen, that you take that
Nervous
one
week.
to the last second. And some drivers like to go in the car sooner, so they don't have any distractions. So they're in their own little bubble. So it's really individual.
Yeah, I love it. Did you have any race rituals before you jump in the car?
I don't get in super late because I think if you get in super late and you've got a problem with the belt or something, or you've got a wire caught, it can get quite stressful if you're getting in quite late before you go green. But I feel like Andre's quite a chilled, relaxed guy, but you were in at the last minute.
Yeah, I like to get interviewed or someone to come say hi, because, when you sit there and you overthink things too much, then it's you build too much pressure and then you're not in the flow. So sometimes it's good to have a little distraction from you guys.
Let's go down to Saunders and Billy and see where you guys are at on the grid.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, we are, in fact, down at P16, Bill, where we have Jake Dennis, someone that didn't even really get to start the race yesterday. But we saw in the free practice session, he was getting purple sectors. So maybe the pace is there. What do you reckon he can do today?
Yeah, also, he's one of the drivers that we so disappointed with the qualifying session we had where that red flag came out in Group A, because he actually set the fastest first sector on that lap before his lap was finished because of the red flag. So expect him in the dry conditions to have more pace than this grid position dictates, really. 16th, 15th next to him, Sam Bird. It's sort of the part of the race track that going down into the first couple of corners can get a bit tasty at times, doesn't it, Saunders?
Yeah, I mean, there's very much this term that the drivers use. They call it the jungle, the danger zone, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's that pretty much from P5, P6 down, where everyone's bunched up. There's so much that can happen, and it's sort of a battle, isn't it, between, on a race like this, where slipstream and energy saving is so important. Of course, the more people in front of you, the more you're saving, but then you've got to use all that energy to get past them, haven't you?
Yeah, I think this race, it feels like to me, everyone we spoke to on the grid, they're a little bit more relaxed about the first couple of corners. It feels like because energy saving is going to be important, no one's going to go gun-ho into the first couple of corners. So I'm not expecting it to be, I guess, too many crashes or contact moments in the first couple of corners, but still, it's definitely worth watching out on that first lap of who can make easy progress where they don't have to use much energy to do so.
We get that thing, don't we, in races like this, where there comes a point in the race, be it sort of lap 10, lap 11, lap 12, where suddenly everyone hits go. And it's like, OK, we've hit our targets, now it becomes a flat-out race and we push, push, push. It's really just being in the best position when you get to that point, isn't it, with attack mode and everything else?
Exactly. I think it is about capitalising and being in the right place at the right moment in the race. I think the strategy of this race is interesting in a couple of ways because we haven't got the pit boost to worry about, so that streamlined strategy for the teams and keeps it more simple. But also, we haven't had a full dry race here because yesterday was wet. So what would the tyres do? How would degradation come into play? There's lots of factors to be excited about here.
Yeah, I mean, the all-wheel drive one, alone, we haven't really seen the full strength of that, have we, here in a dry race? And that can make such a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean, just behind us, or just to the left here, a driver to watch for sure. Eduardo Mortara, back-to-back podiums. He could be going for 3 in a row. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be cool indeed. One thing to say for sure, Bill, is that the conditions are drastically different to yesterday. It's much warmer. It's going to be a completely different race, just like you said. Very, very exciting to see what can happen. Looking around, you know, we know anything can happen in races like this. Now, time will tell.
Now, the moment is upon us. Oliver Rowland stands on the verge of greatness. All he really needs right now are words of encouragement from the people he loves the most.
Stay calm. You know you can do this. Stay focused. You're the best driver out there. Just go out there and show them you can do it. And I wish you the best of luck.
Good luck this weekend, Oliver. Let's hope you win your first World Championship.
You got this, mate. You've done this a million times. Just bring it home.
Hi, Ollie. Ross here. Really hoping you do well this weekend and set up the championship. I'm sure you will. Just use all your experience and I'm sure you'll be fine. And don't party too hard afterwards.
Good luck, champ. Do what you do your best and come home safely. And we all love you.
Good luck, Ollie!
Hope that helps you. Thank you.
Hope that's good. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
I mean, yeah, no pressure. I mean, how beautiful. Honestly, when his mum said those words, I've honestly watched that video about 3 times and I cry every time. It's so special to hear, you know, the support network that he's had over the decades of his motorsport career to get to this point. Hopefully it hasn't deterred him though. Katie, how would it make you feel just before such a big moment in your career?
Yeah, you could see him taking the headphones off quite quickly. I think he was getting emotional at the end there. It's nice to see that while you're not in the cockpit. Obviously, he's going to want to do what he normally doesn't get in the zone without that. Outside of the car, when you're not having to deal with those emotions imminently before you race, it's nice. So yeah, I think, to be honest with you, he's going to be trying to shut all of that out and just doing his job. He knows his run plan. He knows his strategy. That is the only thing on his mind, because if you let anything else in, then distractions take over.
He's got a fairly busy grid ahead of him, starting back from P8. And, you know, we're looking at some fiercely fast drivers as well. What is his run plan going to be? What do you think the goal is here?
Well, the goal for him is definitely to stay out of trouble. He knows he can move forward, but he's in the middle of the pack as well. So it's going to be a bit of a packed race, through abroad. Like there's going to be a lot of overtaking, so he needs to survive till the end to put himself in a good position, because the race is going to be decided in the last 5 laps, I bet. So yeah, he needs to survive until then.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got this kind of, the problem is you've got the melee. So as you mentioned, it is a little bit about survival. I mean, just behind Mitch Evans, yesterday's race winner. So we saw he also has that pace to come through.
Yeah, Mitch is really strong in the races, very decisive to overtake, and the team has been really good also strategically. You know, Nick Cassidy also a very good example of moving forward through the field, so another one to watch.
Yeah. Well, this is it. We are now in the last few minutes before lights out here in Berlin. Will Oliver Rowland write his name etched in the Formula E World Championship trophy? Do join us to find out.
Pascal Wehrlein, the 2024 Formula E World Champion!
Nelson Piquet Jr., the champion of Formula E. Sebastian Buemi, the Formula E champion. Verne is champion again, the first driver to defend his title. Antonio Felix da Costa. It's De Vries who's the champion now. Stoffel Van Dorn is the world champion.
Jake Dennis, Formula E World Champion! A first victory ever in Mexico City for Oliver Rowland.
I've always dreamt of being on that podium in Mexico, to be honest.
Oliver Rowland takes his second win of season 11.
There's an evolution in this.
He had a 1-2 in Monaco.
The most important thing at this part of the season is to be consistent.
He seems untouchable.
And again, it is Oliver Rowland who takes victory. A championship on the line and one driver on the precipice of greatness. 13 races down in 2025 and 3 to go. 47 points is the lead and 58 is what he needs. Oliver Rowland could become the 2025 World Champion of Formula E this weekend. We'll wait to see whether he can do it though. It is going to be hugely exciting. Welcome along to the Berlin E-Prix. Well, my name is Tom Brooks, alongside me, Billy Munger and Alan McNish to guide you through the action. Let's take a closer look at this beautiful Tempelhof circuit. It's been a stalwart on the Formula E calendar ever since the very beginning, Alan.
Yeah, it has been, and it's one of the best circuits, I think, on the grid because it actually changes dynamically through the course of the race. Turn 1 and 2, very wide, lots of opportunities to overtake there. Also attack mode, big accelerations down into 3 and 4. Opened out from last year and a little bit quicker, then the heavy braking and big wide overtaking opportunities at 6 and 7. Not only on entry, but also on exit when you've got that extra 50 kilowatts of attack mode boost. As you see here with Robin Freins yesterday, out accelerating Da Costa on the way down to the next overtaking opportunity, which is a little bit more difficult into 9 and 10. However, clearly you need to get a good exit for the run down to the final triple left-hander, 12, 13 and 14. Very difficult, multiple lines, but it's important to set yourself up for the exit and then the run down the start and finish straight towards turn 1 where you finish the lap.
Yeah, it certainly is. No pit boost to worry about in the race here this afternoon. We're expecting this to be very energy critical in the dry conditions as well. Let's run you through the grid though and how they line up. Lucas Di Grassi, he'll be right at the back. No time in qualifying after a shunt in FP3. They've replaced the tub on that car. Set a camera alongside after a 3-place grid penalty for a red flag infringement. Drogovic and Nick Cassidy next up on the grid. Cassidy came from 21st to 5th here yesterday. Can he get a similar result this afternoon? Next up, you've got Verne and Buemi, then it's Jake Dennis and Sam Bird in the Neon McLaren. Zane Maloney will be spearheading Lola's charge from 14th on the grid. Gunther's got a 3-place penalty for ignoring a black and orange flag in free practice 3 this morning. David Beckman and then Jake Hughes also had a shunt in qualifying. He had his fastest lap deleted and lines up in 11th position. And then at the top 10, here is how it lines up. Edo Mortara, back-to-back podiums for him yesterday after a 3rd position at the checkered flag. Next up, Mitch Evans, pole and a 2nd win of season 11 for him here on Saturday. Can he convert that into a strong result today? Oliver Rowland, 5-place grid penalty after contact with Van Dorn. He needs to get into 58 points of the lead of the championship to be crowned as that here this afternoon. Next up is Taylor Barnard, needs to beat Rowland by 11 points here today. Van Dorn, that's his first time starting sixth since Miami on the grid here for the Maserati MSG team. And Nico Müller makes his first dual appearance in season 11 with P5 on the grid. Second row is occupied by Robin Freitz, his second successive top 4 start here this afternoon. Antonio Felix da Costa, meanwhile, will lead Porsche's challenge from the second row of the grid. He'll be aiding their team's championship to increase it by 30 points. Dan Ticktum, an all Porsche-powered front row, 2/10 slower in qualifying, though, than Pascal Wehrlein. His first pole position since Mexico. The gap to Oliver Rowland is 47 points, and he needs to outscore him here this afternoon to stay in contention for the Drivers' World Championship. 47 points is the gap. 58 is what Oliver Rowland needs here today to be crowned as the world champion. Billy Munger, can he do it?
It's going to be hard, to be honest, because Pascal Wehrlein has looked dominant in dry conditions. In qualifying, he had the 3 fastest laps of all of the drivers. So for me, something's got to go drastically wrong at Porsche for him to not keep this alive.
38 laps of action ready to begin as the drivers do their burnouts. This is Oliver Rowland's view, qualified in 3rd place, but that 5-place grid penalty here for him. Alan, it's not too much of a problem, though, because the last 4 out of 5 winners here have started outside of the top 8.
Yeah, also, this is going to be quite an energy-sensitive race, so therefore there'll be a lot of, I would say, just moving around for position and then trying to conserve energy for the first half. It's really going to be in the last 5 or 6 laps we're going to see the action.
Well, it is now dry, thankfully. It's also very warm down there as well. Track temperature up at 30 degrees. That's 10 degrees warmer than we've had at any point throughout this weekend. It's a big step into the unknown. As we said, it's going to be a high-energy, intensity pack race here in Germany as the 22 drivers are lined up on the grid. The green flag will be waved at the back as the 5 red lights are about to come on. Who will win in Berlin as the lights go out? And we go racing. Good start from Wehrlein. Nice one from Ticktum off the front row of the grid as well. Look at Robin Freitz coming through on da Costa down towards the first corner, side by side with Wehrlein and Ticktum. Who leads into turn 2? Ticktum's got the inside line, but Wehrlein holds it around the outside. Da Costa up into 3rd as well against Robin Freitz. So he's up into P3. On the outside there is Nico Müller in the Andretti, looking to get the better of Freitz through into the right-hander, but Wehrlein it is that leads.
Yes, a solid start so far for the championship contender, Pascal Wehrlein there, all kind of being fairly calm and relaxed on this first couple of laps. We think this is going to be an energy-efficient race, which is why I don't think anyone's really going too gung-ho at the start.
Rowland's made a place up from where he started, 7th on the grid. Oh, blimey, look at that on the inside there as well. That is Taylor Barnard making some moves going down into the hairpin of turn 9.
Spoke too soon, didn't I, Tom? Spoke too soon. He said he was going to be aggressive, though, Taylor. He said it, even though he is in the championship fight, 3rd in the championship is Taylor Barnard. He did say he would be aggressive, and he's gone past 2 of them there in the last corner.
2 for the price of 1 then for Taylor Barnard. He's now up behind Dan Ticktum. Barnard through into 3rd after starting in 7th on the grid. Rowland still sits in P7 as we come to the end of the first lap.
Very different strategies there. Oliver Rowland's just sort of minding his own business there, making sure he keeps out of trouble as opposed to gets involved in anything. Taylor Barnard clearly wanted to get through, clearly wanted to be in behind Pascal Wehrlein. So I think he realises that Wehrlein's got the speed and will probably drag things out at one point of the race. He wants to be in the fight when it's ready.
Freitz coming under pressure here from da Costa on the outside. He's got Barnard on his inside as well. Constantina's up as we come through the turn 6 and 7 hairpin. A prime overtaking opportunity here in Berlin. And a lot of the drivers down on the grid were talking about the pace of the race. They didn't really know what the attack mode strategies are going to be in this one. They said, we're just going to have to wait and see whatever the leader does and see what pace they set and time it from that.
I think there's multiple factors, which is why the strategy is hard to predict for today's race. Yesterday we had a pit boost race. That is different to what we have today. They do not have to make their mandatory stop for pit boost. Also the conditions, Alan. Yesterday, wet weather conditions, mixed conditions. Today it's a dry race, and that affects how energy consumption will be used.
Yes, and also the circuit as well doesn't have any rubber down on it because it's been washed clean all the time as we've got the first person into attack mode. David Beckman has dropped in there and comes back out now with 4 minutes.
Yeah, so 2 minutes of, 2 deployments of attack mode, I should say, rather, for the drivers. They can do it in 4 minutes and 4 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 minutes, or 6 minutes and 2 minutes. Cooper Kiro deciding for a 4-floor split for David Beckman there. And let's see what sort of progress he's going to be able to make whilst the field is all bunched up. Roland, meanwhile, is on the inside of Nico Müller for 6th position. Does he get it done on the exit of turn 7? Just about, but he's going to have the outside line as we come through into the left-hander. Is he going to get hung out to dry there? Müller on the inside. In front, you've got Da Costa side by side with Taylor Barnard, and Roland sort of in no man's land here. He's got great drive on the exit of the corner. Which one of these two is going to blink first as we come through to the triple apex left-hander? Track position there for Müller, and no room really to use the momentum for Roland on the outside.
I think this is a strategy that we see Oliver Roland in these races use a lot. He always tries to hang it round the outside when it bunches up at the apex.
I think going round the outside, he can keep the momentum and he controls his momentum. Therefore, he uses less energy. So he actually gains just tiny little bit of energy by doing that.
It's smart driving, isn't it?
Just to give you an idea of the difference in pace, as we see as we see Müller versus Freund side by side there for 3rd position, and Müller moving up in front of the Envision. Pace is about 5 seconds or so slower than we would be used to seeing in dry conditions, just to give you an idea of how much energy conservation is going on. Da Costa there through on the inside, so Müller up into 3rd place very briefly, now down to 5th, as Roland firms it around the outside there of Taylor Barnard. Beckman's up a couple of places as well into 6th position with 2.5 minutes left of his attack mode.
He's not making as swift progress as you would have hoped using that attack mode, but Tom, the front two have stayed line astern for the duration of these first 4 laps here. And Pascal Wehrlein, although we've talked about it being an energy-efficient race, he's quite happy to lead at this point, interestingly.
He's quite happy to lead, and Tictum's very happy just to sit in behind him.
He's the big winner here, isn't he, Alan?
He's rolling it along at this moment in time. Da Costa's there in defence, and now they switched over. Tictum has now moved into the lead.
So 2 Tag Heuer Porsches now in 2nd and 3rd. Freund on the inside with Beckman looking on the outside line there. Can he make some moves? Looks like he can. So Beckman into 4th position with 1 minute and 40 of attack mode remaining here.
As we're talking about the front, Tictum, Wehrlein, Da Costa. Right at the back, we've got Cassidy and Dennis. They're sitting off the back. They're just drafting along at this moment in time. All they're trying to do is to wait, and then I can see them maybe in about 7 or 8 laps starting to make their way forward.
If you're watching Formula E for the first time and you're wondering why these drivers aren't really fighting for these positions, being an energy-efficient race, sitting in the slipstream of the car in front means that you can lift off the accelerator earlier, you can save energy behind the car in front. If you're the leader, like Dan Tictum is now, you're punching that hole in the air for everybody else. You're expending more energy, and that means that your car is going to be less efficient. You're going to have to save more energy at the end of the race. These cars don't have enough energy to go flat out from lights out to the checkered flag.
Yeah, completely. That energy-efficient race, it means that they do need to save energy at critical parts of the race. Some drivers at the rear of the field seem to be saving their energy in the early stages to have an advantage to use at the end. Now David Beckman has moved up into 2nd there with attack mode, so it is a Cupra Kiro 1-2. You've got 5 Porsche powered cars in the top 6.
Yeah, this is really impressive from Cupra Kiro. I wonder if there's a bit of team play going on here to see whether they can cycle Beckman up into 2nd, then use him as a rear gunner effectively, so he can back the rest of the pack up. Tictum can then create an advantage, so then when he goes into his first attack mode deployment, he won't lose track position.
If you're Oliver Roland, you must be seeing how many Porsche powered cars are at the front, and that would be slightly concerning for him, because he'll be looking and going, where are my rear gunners? Where are the people that are going to help me out if this gets a little bit interesting and dicey at the front? And at the minute, he hasn't got that.
No, he hasn't. He's got Seti Camera down in 20th, but I think Oliver Roland's been quite used this year to be a sort of sole gunner on his own. And I think right now he's sitting in and around all of the mix. He's reasonably happy where he is. The question will be Wehrlein. You know, what has he got? What is he able to do? As Da Costa now slips himself into 3rd place.
Yeah, 2 Tag Heuer Porsche side by side. They have come to blows this weekend as well in free practice 1. Thankfully, not on the start of lap 7. So now we've got 4 Porsche power cars inside the top 4 positions. Müller just in front of Oliver Roland as well. So he's got a plethora of these Porsches to negotiate his way through if he's going to be in with a chance of victory here. We see Da Costa looking to the outside of Tictum into 7. Can he make it stick through there? Tictum's door is open then with Beckman on the outside. And now side by side between the 2 Cupra Kiro teams. Tictum is going to go through into the race lead. Beckman doesn't fight it too much and just blocks the attack there for Da Costa.
Yeah, Beckman's still only driver to have taken the attack mode, and now Tictum is back into the lead, and also Beckman is out of attack mode. So this is the point where I can see Tictum trying to extend the advantage before taking it.
Beckman leading out of attack now. We'll stay patient.
Yeah, so Beckman, the only driver that's expended his first attack mode in this race. On board we ride with Oliver Roland. Everybody else has still got at least 2 to go. And I wonder if it's going to be a case of whoever blinks first, the rest will follow. Down into turn 2 we go. Lap 8 out of 38. Side by side we see there with Beckman, now with Pascal Wehrlein, the pole sitter. Wehrlein now makes it a Tag Heuer Porsche 2-3 as the German driver of David Beckman is relegated down to 4th position. Coming down in towards the hairpin. Let's see whether Freitz gets on the attack against Beckman here as well. He does. Can he make it stick? Kind of through there. And he's up ahead of the German driver again.
Just keeping a look at Nick Cassidy, a star of this style of racing, still at the back, but the gap in the last 4 laps has not changed. He's only 8 seconds off the lead.
Yeah. And in terms of the pace as well, we're now down into sort of the mid 1 minute 3, some in the low 1 minute 3s, but we're still a fair way off of the pace. So that just goes to show you how much energy conservation is going on in the early stages of this race. Just to remind you of the championship, Oliver Rowland has 47 points of an advantage. He needs 58 by the end of this weekend. At a minimum, he needs to finish 5th or better, but also hope that Wehrlein comes into some bother to do that as well.
Yeah, he needs to finish 5th with the fastest lap or in the top 4 positions. So 11 points is the minimum he needs to get, and that is considering in that scenario that Pascal Wehrlein doesn't score. You've also got Taylor Barnard in the championship fight, and Da Costa is still mathematically in this fight. So it was 11 drivers coming into the weekend, but it's down to 4 now.
Well, that's getting a bit close there with Da Costa on the inside of Dan Ticktum. Ticktum's going to firm it around the outside, uses the traction on the exit of the corner to just hold on to 2nd position there for now. Rowland, meanwhile, trying to make some moves in the background against Nico Müller. Can he get it done? Problem with being on the outside is you sort of end up in a bit of no man's land there. If you get a driver that's not a particularly willing dance partner, you could end up with a face full of barrier. It wouldn't be the first time that we've seen that this weekend, as now Da Costa goes through on Ticktum for 2nd. It is a Tag Heuer Porsche 1-2 as Rowland gets about 2 places in the space of 1 corner, and he's now into 5th position as we come to start lap 10.
Yeah, he pushed his way through exactly the same as Barnard did at the end of the first lap, just sneaked down the inside when the others were more watching their position.
Whoa, there's Ticktum on the inside, and Da Costa sort of shuffled into the middle, has to just back out of it ever so slightly. Rowland getting very close here. He's not afraid of getting aggressive, is Oliver Rowland, in this race, and he's got a lot on the line, and now Müller drags alongside the Nissan driver as we come in towards turn 6 and 7. Ticktum looks to the outside of Freitz for 2nd there as well. Freitz just defends. Rowland again sits with that outside line, seems to favour that and makes it work to his advantage.
It's all about keeping those minimum corner speeds up there, Tom. He doesn't want to get stuck on the inside, kill his minimum speed, and have to use lots of energy accelerating off the corner. So where the opportunity presents itself, Oliver Rowland is using that outside line.
And you need a car balance that allows it, and that car actually looks as if it's nice and controlled and easy to drive. As now Barnard has shoved it up the inside as well, and so Barnard's coming back into this game having overtaken Nico Müller.
These drivers all being remarkably well behaved at this early stage of the race. It's nice to see in Formula E. Let's have a look at the energy for the first time as Da Costa looks to the outside, 3 abreast down into turn 1. Ticktum on the inside.
Let's make sure we keep it efficient.
So pretty even Stevens there at the sharp end of the field. Further back as well, some drivers have saved a fair bit of energy in the lower half of this race.
Yeah, but one person looking really strong, Jean-Eric Verne, up to 11th place from 18th on the grid. He was moving forward pretty quickly, but a little bit under the radar, and he's been saving energy as well.
Yeah, and actually looking at the gaps at the front from Jean-Eric Verne, he's in 11th, but it's only 3 seconds of time difference to the leaders. So within a couple of laps of using a percentage more energy than his competitors, he could put himself in the mix here.
Yeah, we're now waiting for the go points in this race, aren't we? Waiting for whoever's going to decide to pick up the pace, and again sort of still circulating that 1 minute 3 second barrier as it stands for now. So coming through into the final corner as we come across the timeline. Wehrlein it is that still leads, Ticktum in 2nd, Da Costa 3rd, Freitz over the line in 4th, and then Oliver Rowland in 5th position. Down towards turn 1, does anyone go for attack mode at the sharp end of this race? Not quite, but Ticktum decides he fancies a chance of leading. Had relatively similar energy compared to Wehrlein and Da Costa in that same pack as well.
Yeah, all the Porsche powertrain cars seem to be pretty level pegging when it comes to the energy consumption for them. Maybe slightly more aggressive than the others. Looking at the likes of Rowland and Barnard, they look like they had 1% more in their back pocket.
Yeah, gets again close into the hairpin. Just want to give a quick shout out, by the way, to the Lola Yamaha apps mechanics. After a big shunt in free practice 2 for Lucas de Grassi, they put in a titanic effort to get the whole monocoque of that car changed ahead of the race, and he managed to get to the grid as well, which is quite remarkable.
It required the mechanics on Zane Maloney's car also to dive in and support on that, so it was a real team effort to do that for de Grassi.
Yeah, and the same also for Jake Hughes, the team having to repair the car after his shunt in qualifying. Thankfully, not a monocoque change, but still a big effort from the Maserati MSG team as well. Hughes currently in 18th position. The car was still being worked on the grid. So, across the timeline we go, lap 13 out of 38. We're on board here with Pascal Wehrlein. Just in front of him is Dan Ticktum. Just behind is his teammate Antonio Felix da Costa.
If you look at Ticktum leads a couple of laps, then Wehrlein leads a couple of laps, then da Costa leads a couple of laps.
We are around 3% down on last cars of the queue.
So maybe a bit more energy saving for Oliver Rowland to do then in the top 5. Let's have a look there. So you can see 69% for Oliver Rowland. That's pretty good compared to the other drivers in the sort of top 5 gaggle. Further down, though, you can see Jean-Eric Vergne is cycled up 8 places from where he qualified on the grid. And he's now 3% up relative to those drivers in front of him.
Yeah, Jean-Eric Vergne is driving a real cracker of a race so far in terms of his energy management. The guys at the back have got even more percentage to play with, but they're going to have to expend that to make their way through the field. And overtaking lots of cars in Formula E and trying to not be using too much energy, that is the tricky part to manage.
Are they going to do that when they take their attack mode? Are they going to use the attack mode power and use the extra energy they've got just to drive through the field up at that point?
Well, who are the drivers that are going to go into attack mode first of all? We're side by side here with da Costa and Wehrlein for second place. Da Costa there on the outside, Wehrlein on the inside. 2 by 2 they go into 3 and 4, and they exit the same corner in the same positions as they entered. But da Costa certainly signalling his intentions against his teammate as we come down into the hairpin bend. Further behind, you've got Evans trying to look on the inside of Muller. Sorry, I beg your pardon, that's Barnard as well there, looking for a lunge, and he gets pretty close there with Oliver Rowland for 5th position.
It's on those big curbs. If somebody goes down the inside and clips the inside curb, it bounces the car out. That's the risk area for Oliver Rowland.
Team radio.
Could be that he will be increasing pace now. We are in a good position there.
So now we're starting to hit that go point, aren't we? We're starting at the point where the drivers are going to increase the pace. They'll be starting to think about attack mode. Muller here on the outside with Taylor Barnard through the final series of corners.
Yeah, he lost a couple of positions in 9 and 10, the second of the hairpins. So he's dropped down, Muller, from 5th to 7th. And the Nissan-powered cars of Oliver Rowland and Taylor Barnard have made up a place each. No one still to go through attack mode other than David Beckman, who used it earlier on to climb up the field. But at the minute, he is the only car to have gone through attack mode.
Rowland got a bit of a snap out of the last corner that allowed Barnard to close right up on him. Barnard decided not to have an attack, but Rowland just got it right up against the wall there.
Wright's having a great run of things inside the top 3 for Envision. There hasn't been particularly a lot to smile about since their team's win of the championship back in season 9. It's great to see him up the sharp end of the field. Let's have a look at a replay here for Taylor Barnard. He's on the inside of Nico Muller. This is where he got really close with Oliver Rowland into turn 7. And like you said, Alan, just one clip of the higher curb on the inside there, and it could have been good night Vienna.
Yeah, it's not the blue and white curb, it's actually the big concrete section behind it that would lift the front of the car off the ground and bounce it across into the car on the side of it.
So across the timing line we go. Wehrlein, still it is that leads. Then Freitz now into 2nd position. Da Costa looks to the outside here of Dan Ticktum. Is Da Costa going to go for attack mode here on the outside? No, not at the moment. Again, just waiting for the first driver here to blink. Vergne, meanwhile, keeping a watching brief on Edo Mortara, who's directly in front of him. We ride on board here with Oliver Rowland, who's just keeping things quite calm and sensible.
So you have 1% more than all 3 cars ahead of you, 2% more than Pascal, 1 less than Taylor behind. Energy good.
Well, this is it's going well for Oliver Rowland. He's inside the top 5. The difficulty is he needs Pascal Wehrlein to be behind him at the moment. So he's, again, there's a long way to go in this race for things to change. Just a reminder, needs to outscore him by 11 points in order to be crowned as the world champion here this afternoon, as Barnard gets a bit aggressive on the inside of Evans and in turn with Rowland as well.
I'll tell you what, though, Taylor Barnard having this aggressive approach, throwing it down the inside, he's definitely rolling that speed through the corners, and definitely, obviously, we heard on the radio there from Oliver Rowland as engineer, he's in a good position with his energy, so it might look aggressive and a bit erratic, but it's working.
Yeah, he's compromising the others as opposed to compromising himself.
Yeah, he's sort of becoming the disruptor here, isn't he, Taylor Barnard, for the rest of the other drivers, as Tickton there with the Porsche of Antonio Felix da Costa on the inside. You've got Roland there again, still with Taylor Barnard, just cannot shake him off, and indeed Barnard goes through. Well, that's probably for the best there for Oliver Roland, just keeps him out of trouble for the time being, such as the aggressiveness that we've seen from the overtakes of Taylor Barnard. There is da Costa with Dan Tickton. It fans out massively. Roland on the inside, 3 into 1. Can they make it work into turn 7? Crunch of carbon fibre. And miraculously, they all managed to make it out relatively unscathed.
I have to be honest with you, that I've just thought it was going to be a replay of yesterday when Roland went down the inside and had a collision and put himself out of the race. That was pretty tight there.
On board here with Dan Tickton, who's now been relegated back down to 6th position and could be coming under threat here from yesterday's race winner, Mitch Evans, as we see da Costa versus Freitz for 3rd.
I think for me, in that moment there in turn 6 and 7, where it got really tight, if anyone picked up contact there, it would have been Dan Tickton. He was in the middle of those 3 cars as Oliver Roland dives to the inside, makes up a position into turn 1. Still no attack mode being used.
Yeah, he wanted to get past Tickton there. That was a clear point. He got shuffled behind him earlier on the lap, but Roland wanted to be ahead of Tickton.
Barnard it is that wants to lead this race, I think, as well, because he's right on the back here of Pascal Wehrlein, and you sense that he might be going for a dive to the inside, going into the hairpin of turn 6. Wehrlein knows that, goes for the defensive line and holds position.
Yeah, defensive line, but also we heard Wehrlein's engineer saying that things were going to speed up. They're not. They're actually a 1.5 seconds slower now than they were about 3 or 4 laps ago.
Well, considering after 11 laps, when we saw the energy reveal, they'd used close to 1/3 of their energy for the race, and 1/3 of the race would be about 12.5 laps or so. So I think potentially we saw them over-consuming slightly early on, hence why the pace has dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all there, so that's why we haven't seen anybody going into attack mode, so the pace has just dropped off a little bit. They're keeping it pretty steady. 19 laps then to go as Barnard goes for the lead here on Pascal Wehrlein, but here comes da Costa on Wehrlein's inside. The gap's going to open there for Barnard. That's a lunge down into turn 2. Can he make it stick? He can! And now Taylor Barnard, the venue where he scored his debut point here 12 months ago, leads a race in the Neon McLaren.
Looking at the attack mode users, we've got one towards the back of the field, Sensei Camera, but Mortara is also using attack mode.
Yeah, Buemi's into bother at turn 2, isn't it? So what's happened there to Sebastian Buemi as he had contact, has a technical problem befallen the envisioned driver. If they can't get that car recovered, it could trigger a full course yellow, maybe even a safety car, which would change the complexion of this race and change the strategies. They'll be trying to do a Control-Alt-Delete reset for Buemi to hope that he can get going, at least get back to the pit lane. Safety car is out. Safety car then is deployed. So the race then is neutralised. They're allowed to race up to another safety car board, but they'll see that there as they come into the final 3 corners. And it means now that Barnard can just have a bit of breathing space at the sharp end of this race. Da Costa in 2nd, Wehrlein in 3rd, and Mortara will be the big loser for this one because he's not long in attack mode. 2 minutes of it remaining, and he's not able to use it.
We've been waiting and waiting for drivers to use attack mode, and Mortara, he won't believe his luck. The fact that he's used it and now a safety car is out, that's really put him on the back foot.
It certainly has. One person that's on the front foot, Jean-Eric Verne, look at him, up 10 places in 8th, and he was one with the highest amount of energy left when we last saw it.
Yeah, a shame there for Sebastian Buemi to have retired from the race with a technical problem.
Mortara just switching back with Frein, so clearly they decided that Mortara had actually overtaken prior after the safety car was put out, so switching back.
Let's have a look here at what happened then to Sebastian Buemi. So we're going down to the first corner. Buemi a little bit further back at this stage, so keep an eye on all the argy-bargy that's going on at the sharp end of this one, and I imagine we're going to see an Envision coming grinding to a rather undignified halt.
Yeah,
there we go.
It is on the left-hand side.
Yeah. That's a shame for Buemi. He had a podium in Jakarta last time out, if you remember. Got it reinstated a week and a half after the checkered flag fell in Indonesia.
I think he had just done his fastest first sector as well.
Yeah, big shame there for the Swiss driver. He's been on a good run of form, actually, and prioritised this event over the World Endurance Championship in Sao Paulo this weekend.
Seb, try a quick power cycle. So P1, P0. The leaders are at the finish line, and it is safety car, so we have time.
The voice of Conor Somerville, his race engineer there.
I think that was a bit delayed, though, because obviously we saw Seb out of the car, and so that was what they were trying to do, was a reset.
So what does this mean now for the other drivers? If you look at Barnard, he's got 54%. He's 2 up on Da Costa, 3 up on Pascal Wehrlein here.
He's done really well. Look at Cassidy down in 15th, 58%. And so Cassidy's slowly just moving himself forward. Jean-Eric Verne a bit more quickly. But let's see how long this is, because remember, if this is quite a long safety car, they will add laps to the end of the race.
Yeah, anything over 2 minutes and 39 seconds, you get 1 added lap. Double that, you get 2 added laps, and so on and so forth. So I reckon we're going to probably get at least 1 added lap at this reckoning of things.
Yeah, potentially 2 as well. I think we'll be on the borderline of that. Jean-Eric Verne has got an extra couple of % to Taylor Barnard, but he has to make the progress through from 8th. Taylor Barnard is definitely in a strong position right now, for sure. It's just a question, again, when they use the attack mode, which obviously you deploy more energy when you're using attack mode in general. How do they use that at the right moments and save enough so they can actually use attack mode to its full effect?
It's interesting as well, because the safety car normally is a bit of a godsend to those who are further back down the order, but incidentally, the gap was about 10 seconds between first and last as they came across the timing line, such is the way that they're all conserving energy. It's actually increased under the safety car to about 15 seconds. It will, of course, decrease once the safety car comes in, but again, like I say, normally if you're further back, it's a saving grace because it bunches the rest of the pack up. Not so, given the style of racing that we've got here in Berlin.
I think this safety car really has not helped all the Porsche power cars. As we get confirmation, the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. But all the Porsche power cars, it seems like they've gone slightly more aggressive with energy consumption.
Think about adjusting settings and think about everything you can do to help efficiency with all those laps in the lead.
So what do the leaders of this race now do? We're going to begin racing once again with Taylor Barnard, who will lead the field across the line. He effectively becomes the safety car at this point until we come to the timing line, which will then resume green flag racing. Lap 22 as we go green once again here in Berlin. Barnard leads them across, along with DaCosta, Wehrlein, Evans and Freitz down in towards turn 1. No challenges there for Barnard from behind. Does anybody make a move? Well, Jean-Eric Verne with expendable energy as Barnard's gone in for attack mode straight away, and he's going to pull in there behind the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches. He'll have an extra 50 kilowatts of power. He'll have all-wheel drive as well. And how is he going to use this to his advantage?
This is a bold strategy from Taylor Barnard, because he's quite quickly, you would assume, going to get into the lead, but that means he's not going to be efficient. He's already back into the lead, but now he's going to be pushing his own air. He's not going to be efficient.
Yes, but he is going to also break the gap and the toe to Pascal Wehrlein or DaCosta behind him. So actually, his energy efficiency is going to not help them, because he's just going to speed away from them quite quickly.
Yeah, and what that means is that DaCosta rather, will become that cork in the bottle. He had 2% more energy over DaCosta and Wehrlein, if you remember. So let's see how well Barnard can use this one. You would imagine we're going to get some purple sector times coming in here as we end lap 22.
Looks like DaCosta's also probably pushing and maybe over-consuming, trying to keep up with Barnard at the moment.
Yeah, fastest lap easily there for Taylor Barnard, even with attack mode. We're down into the 1 minute 2 seconds, so we're now hitting the go point of this race. Look at Evans, who's come through as well. He's into 4th position on the grid from 9th. So that's going well for Mitch Evans. And look at Barnard, he is absolutely catapulting away. We've got a yellow flag, though, out at turn 2, and it's Nico Müller that's come to a stop. We could see another safety car then here as well. I think Sam Bird might be involved in the second of the neon McLarens.
And now hit targets. We can underconsume slightly. Let's be efficient.
Yeah, it's a double yellow down at turn 2. Muller's going to get going again, but Bird is going nowhere. If that calls a safety car, that is going to ruin the strategy there for Taylor Barnard.
Yeah, it is going to ruin it. It looks like Bird isn't going anywhere because the tyre's off the rim on the front. And he's stuck.
Safety car out, sorry, Alan, to go in front of you. You've got it on our timing screen, comes up now on the TV, and the safety car is deployed, and Barnard, well, he'll be very, very disappointed with that.
That's catastrophic. I don't mean to be too over the top with saying that, but losing out on 2 minutes of attack mode. Now he's got 1 left. The field's going to get bunched up once again. So even the lead that he was working on extending, that's gone too.
But very interesting strategy, sorry there, Tom, to actually use the attack mode to break the gap so that, because it is so powerful round here, and then it means that the drivers, mind you, are still having to push their own way through the air.
Yeah, disappointing there for Sam Bird. He was quite optimistic for that one. Nico Müller's car also looking pretty second-hand there. Rear left puncher for him, unfortunately, as a stricken Neon McLaren is on the outside of turn 2.
I think there's a possibility there could have been another car involved there, because it was the rear of Nico Müller, who was actually sitting behind Sam Bird's car.
Yeah, we'll wait and see, unless he came together with the wall as a result of the incident maybe there for for Nico Müller, but either way, not good at all for him. I suppose that maybe the one saving grace, if this takes a bit of a while to get the car recovered, he could get that puncture repaired. If the car's still good to go, get back out in the race and catch up with the rest of the train.
Yeah, potentially. That would be what he's hoping for. I'm trying to put myself in terms of thinking about McLaren, what they'll be telling Taylor Barnard right now, how he can rescue a strong result considering he's used one of his attack modes. He did have more energy to play with, and using attack mode does make you expend more energy. So if we are slightly over-consuming, as we see a replay in the background of how this all kicked off. So both drivers running wide, it looked like, trying to maybe go for attack mode. And then I'm not quite sure what's happened here.
Yeah, we need to see another angle of it. Let's have another look at this one, see if it helps us paint more of the picture. It's in the background there, and well, they both go deep. Did they both have technical problems? Maybe Müller, yeah, Müller's got the puncture already there, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's a left rear and a right front issue, but where that came from.
Let's have a look on board here. Driver's eye view with Nico Müller. So we're coming down towards the first corner. It's Bird that's directly... there's contact. Yeah, right, OK. So they had contact before on the straight.
So Bird has hit the back of Nico Müller, hence the reason the left front and the right rear.
Yeah. So they weren't going for attack mode then, I think we can clarify. And for actual fact, they ended up there because Sam Bird was on the inside of Nico Müller with that front right puncher.
Yeah, and then we end up with a train of cars with Nico Müller trying to find reverse as Bird jumps out of it, and he quite clearly is frustrated, and they're busy having a committee meeting about it, all the while Müller is looking to get back into the race.
Yeah, it's not very helpful when you're trying to find reverse gear when the driver in front of you is trying to have a conversation at the same time. Multitasking is going to be tricky. Let's look at it from Sam Bird. It was a late move there from Nico Müller for me. I think that when you're under braking, it's a tricky braking zone down through turns 1 and 2 there. I can see why Sam Bird's frustrated.
Yeah, you can see he already knew that the suspension was knackered after that point as well. He's just biffed it into it. And Sam Bird, we are expecting this to be the swan song of his Formula E career, and it's not the way he'll have wanted the penultimate weekend of it to go, unfortunately, as outgoing team principal Ian James watches on. Müller and Bird under investigation for that collision, according to our timing screen here as well. And a bit more of a lengthy delay whilst they get that car recovered. Yeah, the car now is out of danger, so we might see it in at the end of this lap.
Adding some more laps to the race here, Tom, as well. There'll be plenty of added laps coming our way, potentially 3 or 4 added laps with the amount of time they spent behind the safety car.
Well, I did decide to go down to turn 1 and say it was a place for a lot of overtaking and incidents. I didn't quite expect 3 cars to be out there already.
Yeah, you weren't wrong. I'd love to see the energy, actually, while we've got a moment to take stock and see who exactly is sitting where. You would imagine that Barnard's going to have expended a little bit more of it. Safety car's in at the end of this lap, so we'll recap on energy a little bit later on. Again, I think that might add at least 1 more lap to this race. We'll get confirmation of that once the race control have worked it all out. But it is going to be Taylor Barnard that leads the end of this race. But he, of course, has used one attack mode and was thwarted by that safety car after the incident involving his teammates. And now, how does Barnard play this one? He's still got a bit more energy over Verline and Da Costa. Can he use that to his advantage? Further back, though, look at the likes of Nick Cassidy, Max Günther, Jean-Eric Vergne. They've got loads more energy, so they can cycle through. And, of course, they've got 2 attack modes available as well. And they're in a prime position, both of the DS Penske's on the fringes of the top 10. So, around the final corner we go at the end of lap 25 to begin lap 26. Taylor Barnard it is that leads in the Neil McLaren, followed by Verline and Da Costa as the green flag flies once again, and we go racing. Does anybody further back behind Barnard go for the attack mode straight away? They do. Verline goes straight in at the start of this one. Fright's in as well. Rowland follows suit, and likewise Jean-Eric Vergne as well. They're all in, trying to use attack mode and make hay whilst the field's all bunched up following the restart.
It's interesting there to see Oliver Rowland follow Pascal Verline straight in to use his attack mode. It feels like he's just deploying the same strategy as Pascal Verline, trying to almost mimic his race in order to not have a result where he's caught out with a late safety car or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a mitigation strategy as opposed to an attacking strategy. But at the end of the day, why does he have to have an attacking strategy? He's got a huge points lead, and it's a case of needing Pascal, or Pascal needing, I should say, to take some big points away from Rowland.
Certainly is coming in towards the final few corners. What progress can Rowland make? The problem is he's got Fright's right in front of him. Fright is also in attack mode, so he's going to hope that they can work together and cycle through. Mortara in front has used one of his attack mode deployments. He got unlucky with the first safety car, if you remember, a few moments ago. To the outside then goes Da Costa and into attack mode as Evans follows him through. Where do they emerge in relation to the likes of Fright and Rowland? Sort of in the middle of the 2 drivers there. Fright ahead of Da Costa. Roland now moves down a position as Da Costa slots in between the two.
Two of the championship protagonists here. Oliver Rowland leading the championship. Da Costa dropped down to 4th yesterday, effectively acting as a rear gunner in a sort of way for Pascal Wehrlein. So keeping track position, Porsche should be very happy with that outcome.
Crikey me, look at this. Barnard, rookie leading. Then you've got Wehrlein, Freins, Mortara, Da Costa, Rowland, Evans, Verne. That is a pretty strong bunch following in up.
And Wehrlein's going for the lead here. He needs to do this as soon as possible to get track position against Taylor Barnard. On the inside, we go into the final corner. Nothing that Barnard can do. Oh, contact there with Mortara versus Rowland into the penultimate corner. Just about manages to make it through, does Rowland, into P5.
And Rowland's lost a little bit of ground to Robin Freins. Robin Freins is currently ahead of Da Costa, so there's a car in between them. So Oliver Rowland not making as much progress as the Envision car, who also now gets up the inside of Taylor Barnard down at turn 2.
Can he make it stick, though, into 3? Barnard's firming it around the outside. Freins has still got 1:50 left of attack mode, so I don't think he's going to be able to do anything there. Rowland, meanwhile, is side-by-side here with Mitch Evans. Evans went for attack mode a lap later, so he's going to have a minute more. And then Barnard's dropping right back down here as he just lifts off the gas a little bit early to try and save a bit of energy. For Rowland here on the inside, it's now getting a bit feisty, this race here, as Freins it is now that leads the way as we come in towards turns 9 and 10.
Pascal Wehrlein only used 2 minutes in his first attack mode deployment. Oliver Rowland's using 4 right now, so we're expecting the 2 championship protagonists, first and second in the championship, potentially to go wheel to wheel right now.
Keep an eye out for Verne, though, in the DS Penske. We know he's up on energy and he's really cycled his way through the field. He's in attack mode with 1 minute and 10 seconds left of that one. Just to let you know, by the way, the incident between Mortara and Rowland is under investigation. Crunch of carbon fibre as we come across the timing line then here.
Cassidy, though, look at him. He's still down there in 12th, 13th, but he's got about 5% more energy than the leaders.
Can he use it, though? That's the crucial question. He'll be hoping that the rest of the field Constantine is up, as they are doing, and he can really go on the attack in the latter stages of this race. Still no confirmation as to how many added laps we're going to get of this one. Evans it is that now leads. Freins goes to the inside into turn 6. Da Costa on Rowland there as well, both in attack mode, but Rowland with 1 minute less compared to it, and he really needs to get the elbows out here. Does Oliver Rowland to the inside, 2 into 1 into turn 9. Can he make it stick? This is absolutely imperative for Oliver Rowland, who leads. Oliver Rowland in front in the Nissan.
That was a big move by Rowland, a little bit of risk-taking as well, but he's managed to get into the lead there. Evans has got more attack mode. He's got 1 minute, and so does Da Costa. Verne and Freins, though, and Wehrlein are all basically exactly the same.
So now Rowland is going to go from attacking to defending. He comes to the end of his attack mode, and how much pressure immediately is he going to come under? Da Costa goes for 2 places in one corner down into turn 2. He's a bit deep, though, and loses out as a result.
Well, Rowland is over-consuming energy than what he ideally wants, but to make sure he leads Evans, he's looking at track position. At the moment, there's only 9 laps to go without the added extra laps. Is this now a fight for track position?
Oliver Rowland, not long ago, he was passing championship contender Pascal Wehrlein. Wehrlein's now dropped down to 9th position.
Now they're about 2 and 3 seconds a lap faster than they were about 10 laps ago. So the pace is now picking up, spreading out as well.
Oliver Rowland's doing a great defensive job here on Mitch Evans. He's had a lot more attack mode to use. Da Costa's now coming up the inside of Oliver Rowland.
And Wehrlein is back in 10th place. Pascal Wehrlein, who is leading, who is the master of qualifying, has dropped down to 10th at the moment.
Yeah, Wehrlein cycling his way back through the field. This is going great then for Oliver Rowland. Is it enough, though, for him to win the World Championship? We'll wait and see as we come across the timing line, because there's plenty of time for the complexion of this one to change. We reckon there's going to be at least 2 added laps as we look at Maloney here going through. That is side by side with his teammate Lucas Di Grassi. That car, a bit of a Frankenstein. Di Grassi's one. They've changed the monocoque of it. Haven't got the full Superman livery, but a Superman effort from that team. And Di Grassi, right from the back of the grid, is now up inside the top 10 for Lola Yamaha apps.
Pascal Wehrlein is down in 13th position. He's out of the points. He's low on energy as well. Things are falling apart for Pascal Wehrlein here.
And falling into place for Oliver Rowland, because this would be enough for him to be crowned as the world champion this afternoon. But look, though, Jonathan Verne is ready to try and spoil Oliver Rowland's party. Just a reminder that we need Rowland to finish 5th or better with the fastest lap in order to be crowned as the world champion if Wehrlein does not score. Verne, though, to the outside of Rowland, looking to try and demote the Briton down into 4th place and gets the move done. Across the line we go. Evans from Da Costa, from Verne, then Roland in 4th position. Dennis just coming to the end of his attack mode, so he's managed to make his way up through inside the top 10. Felipe Drugovich having an absolute blinder as well in the Mahindra. He's leading their challenge up in 10th position in his debut weekend in Formula E. Let's see what moves he can make in the latter stages of this race.
Thinking about the championship here, Tom, the only driver at the minute in the championship contenders other than Oliver Rowland is Da Costa. Da Costa's one to watch. He's currently leading the race. Taylor Barnard has dropped down to 16th, so it's looking like he will be out of contention.
Yep.
Actually, he doesn't have the fastest lap at the moment, Oliver Rowland. That actually sits with Lucas de Grassi in 7th.
Yeah, so Cassidy, meanwhile, has now gone into his attack mode. He had a fair bit more energy relative to those around him, so I wonder how much he can cycle through the field as it's all bunched up then here. Evans and Da Costa side by side into the penultimate corner. We reckon, by the way, 2 added laps for this race. No official confirmation as of yet. As soon as we get it, we'll give you the information, but lap 38 could become lap 40 for the checkered flag. We go side by side with the race leaders, though. Da Costa versus Evans. Rowland looking for the outside line, but he's going to go into attack mode here then, isn't he? He's going to go for his second deployment as it all goes very, very close into the first couple of corners there. Drugovich also in attack mode as well.
I'm not sure if that's the right call for Oliver Rowland, because he has picked a moment where the cars are so close together that he's dropped from 4th down to 9th. He's lost a lot of positions there, so he's got a lot of ground to make up, and it is getting busy at the front.
Yeah, it certainly is. Coming down into the turn 6 and 7 hairpin where we've seen so much drama unfolding. He's on the outside here then of Robin Freitz. Can he make it through? He can. Mitch Evans is the next target. In fact, make that Nico Muller, because the 2 Andrettis are now in 3rd and 4th place. Dennis has managed to almost ghost his way up the order here at this one. And now Rowland is through on his inside. He's got to do this as quickly as he possibly can. What he needs to do is get himself to the front, try and build out a gap, because the rest of the drivers behind him have got at least 1 attack mode left. Verline's gone in for his final attack mode deployment, and Porsche are employing a different strategy because Verline's gone right down into 19th place, but he's got 5 minutes left of this one.
But I think that's because they over-consumed at the start of this race. He's had no choice but to drop off and to consume, save some energy, and now he's got to see if he can use it while he's got attack mode. Oliver Rowland's got 3 minutes of attack mode left. He's up into 2nd place behind John Ekberg. He needs to get into the lead and figure out if he can open up a gap to the rest of the field.
Here he goes, Oliver Rowland to the outside. Verne's going to defend this one though as best he can, but I don't think he's going to have anything on the exit of the corner because of the 4-wheel drive traction, and Oliver Rowland takes the lead on lap 34 from Jean-Eric Verne.
The other drivers are going to have to be careful though. You need to, by regulation, have finished your attack modes by the end of the race, and at the moment Rowland has done 2. The rest of them back down until 7th place have only done 1.
Yeah, certainly will. So out of the turn 10 hairpin we go then. Verline now making his way through the field. He's got 4 minutes of attack mode, and the field pretty bunched up in front of him, it's fair to say. He's got 5 seconds to the leaders. So this is a good opportunity for Verline to make some progress after going right to the very back of the field.
Cassidy up to 2nd, just taking his attack mode now. Cassidy has really dragged himself right into this game.
Yeah, Cassidy's having an absolutely superlative run of this one. Look at this with Gunther versus Muller. Muller's having a great run of this. If you remember, he had a puncher. He was right at the back of the train of cars after the safety car, which he was involved in the incident that brought it out. And you can see he's now in 10th position. He was as high as 3rd a couple of laps ago.
Verline struggling there. Sorry, Billy.
Looking at the energy reveal, it's not good, is it, Alan?
Really, really struggling, Verline.
So through the hairpin we go. Cassidy with, what's that, 3-4% more energy compared to Oliver Rowland, and Cassidy's in attack mode at the moment, so he's really pulled an absolute blinder here, isn't it, Cassidy? If you remember, he won this race from 15th on the grid last year, and he's proving why he is so good in these high-energy pack races.
Alan called it earlier. He said Nick Cassidy is one to watch. Now we find out 3 added laps. So how does this affect the drivers out there that have been conserving energy better? You'd expect it would play into their favour.
I think Cassidy's got this race now to lose, hasn't he? He's in 2nd position. He's got more attack mode available. Everybody else behind going through for their final attack mode deployments, barring Stoffel Van Dorn. So what's his strategy in the closing stages?
It's not looking good for Pascal Wehrlein, guys, because everyone in front of him has now taken attack mode, so he can't use that extra power like Oliver Rowland did to make progress through the field. So we've got a change for the lead, Tom.
Yeah, we certainly have. Cassidy goes through into the lead, but this would be enough for Oliver Rowland to be crowned as the world champion here this afternoon. He would have that 58 points advantage, which he so desperately needs if he finishes in second position. Drugovic is up into third place in all of the chaos that's been unfolding. That is an absolutely fantastic performance from the Brazilian substitute driver here this weekend. And keep an eye out for Jake Dennis in the Andretti Porsche, as well as Jean-Eric Verne behind, because they could be ready to try and spoil the party of the drivers in front.
Jake Dennis still has 1 minute of attack mode. Jean-Eric Verne in fifth has still got 2 minutes. So Nick Cassidy and Jean-Eric Verne look strong right now.
Cassidy was 1.5 seconds faster last time around than Oliver Rowland. He is going for broke in this one, and he's got all of the time in the world to need to use it. Dennis through on Rowland for second position. Makes the move stick, nice and easy there. 50 kilowatts more power, all-wheel drive, no match there for Oliver Rowland to be able to do it. He's demoted down to third place.
I'm struggling to see how Pascal Wehrlein can score points today, because the drivers behind him have got an extra minute of attack mode, so it feels like he's going to be on the defence rather than the attack.
Keep an eye out as well for Da Costa, who is in 8th position. He's got 2 minutes and 24 of attack mode. More than Muller in front of him. Barnard and Drugovic have used their final attack mode deployments as well. And also Pascal Wehrlein could be set to try and come back through the order. It might just be enough for them to hold off the championship challenge here for Oliver Rowland, especially as he loses another place here to Verne at the start of lap 38.
So, Tom, Oliver Rowland needs to keep this position. He needs to finish in the top 4. He's very unlikely to get the fastest lap because he's used his attack modes up. Nick Cassidy has the fastest lap at the minute, so he needs to stay in the top 4 to even wrap this up before we go to London.
Absolutely, yeah, this is going for broke here for Oliver Rowland. P4 at the moment would be enough with the positions of Da Costa and of Pascal Wehrlein, but they are going to be hunting them down. Someone cue the Jaws music, because this is going to be a cracking end to this race, and we're waiting to see what attack the Tag Heuer Porsches can do with just over 3 laps to go here for this one. Cassidy it is that leads with 20 seconds of attack mode remaining.
And look at Wehrlein down in 13th place with 8%. The people around him significantly more. 14th now. Wehrlein's dropping back. It's all about Rowland. Can he stay in that 4th place?
So across the timing line we go. Cassidy coming to the end of his attack mode, but look at the gap he's built. 3.5 seconds. He's in a different postcode compared to everybody else. Dennis in second place. Verne just coming to the end of it. There's Barnard through on Drugovic down at turn 2 for P5.
Is Barnard going to spoil the party of Oliver Rowland?
Whoa!
He's aggressive.
Drugovic there having a bit of contact with Barnard into 3. Doesn't want to give this one up easily, does the Brazilian driver. Has to live to fight another day though. Allows Barnard to hold on to 5th place for now.
This is all playing into Oliver Rowland's hands. All while they're battling, he's opening up a gap to the cars behind.
Certainly is. So this is enough for Oliver Rowland to be crowned as the champion at the moment. Evans, though, he's in attack mode, cycles through on Muller, cycles through on Drugovic. He's now up into P6, or is he? Because Drugovic is still there on the inside. Gets it done on the exit of the corner, though, with the extra 4-wheel drive and traction. Da Costa in 9th position there. Wehrlein's gone back down to 15th. It's all falling apart here for Pascal Wehrlein.
All the Porsche Power cars that at the start of the race looked comfortable. They were happy to lead the race. They've all overconsumed. Pascal Wehrlein's down in 15th, Ticktum 16th, Beckman 17th. Da Costa is the best of the lot, and even he's down to 9th.
Oh, Barnard on the inside, side by side there with Evans. Doesn't want to give this one up. Contact between the two on the exit of turn 2. Barnard through, still on the inside, muscling Evans to the outside onto the wall of turn 4. But somehow Evans just has enough room to get the gap, get the position, and get 5th place on Taylor Barnard.
Got 5th place on Taylor Barnard, but look at the gap to Oliver Rowland now. That's allowed Rowland to stretch it out, and now they're all out of their attack mode.
This is enough for Oliver Rowland, and it's given him just a bit of breathing room.
Full course yellow in 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, please. Full course yellow.
Full course yellow then. A full course yellow out on track, and we're trying to work out what the reasoning for that is at the moment. I think it could be Robin Freitz that's come to a stop somewhere out on the circuit. But he's dropped right down to 19th position.
Maloney, I think, has stopped at the last triple left-hander that they're coming up to at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's Freitz there, isn't he? He's out of the car. And there's Sam Bird's car as well. So 5, a very quick full course yellow.
3, 2, 1 green flag, please.
Full course yellow ends then, so we come to the end of this one to begin the final lap. Nick Cassidy it is that is in the pound seats. Jake Dennis there in second position, Vern up into third, Oliver Rowland. All he's now going to do is keep this cabinet consistent, not lose any places. P4 would be enough.
1.4 seconds, this is advantage over Mitch Evans in 5th. This is consistent. This is an advantage that he can build on. He's got 1 lap to go here. Oliver Rowland, this is him for the championship.
This is going to be the longest lap of Oliver Rowland's life, down through into the hairpin of turn 6 and 7. Nothing to worry about behind. Tommaso Volpe is going to be chewing his fingernails down to the bone. Can he get onto the podium in the closing stage of this one? I think it's a bridge too far, but it doesn't matter there for the British driver. Now down through into turns 9 and 10. Well, the boy from Barnsley, 32 years ago, he awoke with a dream. One dream to become the world champion. And he is about to realise that. He comes through into the Triple Apex final corner here in Berlin. Oliver Rowland for Nissan. As Cassidy comes across the line to take victory here in Berlin. Dennis in second and Rowland in third. Oliver Rowland is the 2025 Formula E World Champion here in Berlin. What an absolutely phenomenal season for Oliver Rowland. And he was right there when it mattered, and you can see what it means for the Nissan Formula E team. We're hoping for some team radio there, but I think they're overcome with emotion. And after...
World champion. Mate, we're world champion. World champion without ballast. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Oliver, this is Tommaso. You are an amazing comeback, the best comeback in the sport, world champion. And we have a special message for you.
Daddy, you're the world champion! Yeah! Daddy, you're the world champion! You're the world champion! Yeah! Bye.
Oh, thanks, Faps. Love you. Love you, Lauren. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in Nissan. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, FCA. Thanks, whole team. Incredible.
Yeah, we did it, man. We did it. Ollie, this is Alan here. You are world champion. You're very emotional. Tell us what it feels.
For sure it hasn't sunk in. Honestly, I didn't expect it today. I mean, Pascal was on fire this morning, and all I could think about was having a big dent in the lead. So, yeah, I just can't believe it. I've been here a long time trying. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
You've done it now. Enjoy the podium celebrations. You're number 1.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Oliver Rowland is the 2025 Formula E World Champion. What an absolutely sensational season for the boy from Barnsley, from South Yorkshire. Let's be fair, he hasn't had it all his own way in Formula E. And a couple of years ago, he walked away from the sport mid-season, and we wondered whether we would see him back, but he managed to get back to his own team, and they were able to find the right key to unlock the potential that we all knew was there. And Oliver Rowland has done it. He becomes the 2025 Formula E World Champion of Season 11 here in Berlin. Celebrates with the crowd down at the final corner at Tempelhof. Credit to Nick Cassidy as well. What a superb race from the Kiwi. He came from 20th on the grid to take victory.
From back to the front. Jake Dennis as well was down there, so was Jean-Eric Verne. Oliver Rowland was the first one in the top 10 that finished up towards the front. But we have to say this is Oliver Rowland's day, even though that Nick Cassidy's drive was sensational. And also a double victory here in Berlin for Jaguar with Mitch Evans yesterday.
Yeah, sensational job for Jaguar. Jag are certainly back in Berlin. Dennis in second place. I spoke to him on the grid. He said the only way we can go is forwards, and they've done that. But look at this outpouring of emotion for the Nissan Formula E team. 4th across the line there for Oliver Rowland, and it was enough for him to have become the world champion.
Got to be honest with you, on that slowing down lap, I was a little bit emotional when they were starting to talk on the radio, because this is a lifetime opportunity for Oliver Rowland. He was there to take it. He had a very difficult day yesterday, and he fought back and he kept his head, he breathed, he pushed himself into the right place, and ultimately he conserved the energy when he needed to, and he expended the energy when he needed to. Very deserved.
Very, very deserved, yeah. Amazing job from Oliver Rowland, not just this weekend, but also all season long as well. It's his consistency that's been a mark of the man. He won in Mexico, he won in Jeddah, in Monaco, in Tokyo, of course, in Nissan's backyard. And the last couple of weekends, those results have been a bit harder to come by. Shanghai and Jakarta weren't quite what he had in mind, really. And even yesterday, his first DNF of the season, to bounce back from that with the championship here today, phenomenal.
Yeah, I think when you say the results were hard to come by, that was relative to the dominance that he had at this beginning of the season. Ultimately, though, he's had probably one of the most dominant seasons in Formula E history.
Yeah, incredible job from Oliver Rowland. Great job from Nick Cassidy as well. That's his 2nd win in 3 weekends of Formula E. He will be delighted with that. It's his 3rd win at Tempelhof as well. It's a circuit he's always gone well at. Jaguar also winning consecutive races for the first time since Sao Paulo and Berlin back in 2023.
And also finishing 1st and 5th yesterday and 1st and 5th today.
Love a bit of symmetry. Nice one there, Alan. Oliver Rowland takes in the plaudits of the crowd. Jake Dennis cycled his way through on that race as well, from 16th on the grid to go through and take 2nd position. Jean-Eric Verne, great race from the DS Penske driver as well. He was brilliant at saving energy in the early part of that. The safety cars as well definitely would have helped his cause, but he was right there when it mattered. Got himself in the right positions, and if it wasn't for the fact that Cassidy was able to get in front, you'd dare say he'd have been a dead set for the victory here today. But all eyes are on this man here, Ollie Rowland, down in Parc Ferme, celebrating, or in the pit lane rather, I should say, with his Nissan team. The World Championship T-shirts are out as well. And there is Tommaso Volpe, the figurehead of the Nissan Formula E team. You can see what it means for them as well.
Congratulations, you are the best. You are the best. You are the best. I told you it's the rest for you, I told you.
Fantastic. We're hopefully going to be going down and catching up with Oliver Rowland in a few moments' time as well. Cannot wait for that. You can see the media all down there just trying to get a quick word. There is Billy in the background. Let's catch up with Oliver Rowland. Billy's down there. Billy, get a microphone in. Let's talk to Oliver Rowland, the world champion.
Does this feel?
Incredible. Honestly, I was just thinking before the race not to have too much damage going into London, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, unbelievable. I have no words.
What a race, honestly. Talk us through that one from your perspective, because obviously you were thinking bigger picture. It's hard not to with the championship lead you built, but now you can finally say you're a Formula E world champion. That must mean so much to you.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I was trying to play safe, but everybody was so aggressive. So at some point, I was all in. I was getting stuck in doing the moves, and yeah, thankfully I stayed out of trouble, and it's unbelievable.
Talk us through the feeling of hearing your daughter over Team Radio. We can hear you get emotional. I feel like you keep your cards close to your chest, but it's a family game, motorsport, and this must mean a lot to you and the whole team, all your family.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up racing's been my entire life, and becoming a dad was one of the proudest moments of my life, and I'm so proud of her. And it's not just about racing, you know, it's about family as well, which is super important, and hearing her voice was amazing. She just said bye in her usual style.
Well, hopefully you get the chance to celebrate with them very soon. Congratulations, Oliver Rowland, Formula E champion in 2025.
Thank you.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Billy. Well done for getting down there and getting your elbows out. Bit of a race to catch up with the champion here in Berlin. Superb job from Oliver Rowland, and time now for him to enjoy it as well here in Germany.
I wanted to. I offered my head. Yeah, I didn't.
Right, let's catch up then with Nick Cassidy. His second victory in 2025. Jag on top for 2 races in a row.
Another win for Jaguar, and starting from 20th on the grid to take the win today. How did you do that?
Yeah, good question. What an awesome race. Well, firstly, to be honest, I don't want to take the moment away from Ollie and the Nissan guys. I mean, world champions with a whole weekend to spare is an incredible achievement. So well done to Oliver. He's been a class act all year, and even though on our side we're really happy today, I don't want to take the moment away from him. For my guys, I mean, they called that perfectly. Had a really good car in the race. We kind of knew we screwed up in quali, and I was a bit upset about that, but car in the race was fantastic, and that was awesome.
But what is it about Berlin? Because you did it yesterday in the wet, cycling through the pack, and you've done it again today in the dry. Is it something about this track?
Yeah, I don't know. That's 3 wins here now, and you know the place didn't used to be kind to me, and now it's been an amazing venue for me across the years, and yeah, well, it's really, really cool to win the last 3 years here.
Another podium for Jaguar. Jaguar are back, eh?
Jaguar, you know, we've been improving all year. It's no secret. Jaguar are back. You know, the future for the team is very bright. They're going to keep improving a lot. I think that's been obvious the last few weekends, and I just had a fantastic car just then.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nick Cassidy, a winner in Formula E in Berlin for the last 3 years in a row. Great job from him. He'll be absolutely delighted with that one. So then,
Jake Dennis back on the podium after starting 16th on the grid today. Did you see that one coming?
Honestly, yeah. Like, we had a really good race car, and just the strategy what we took into the race was perfectly executed. I had every opportunity to win this race, and we got pretty close. So yeah, not too surprised to be up here, but yeah, just super happy for myself, the team. We've been on a real sort of bad luck streak lately, and to reward them with a P2 is the least I could do. So yeah, excited to have this little boost coming into my the final stretch, my home race in London, and yeah, it's needed.
Yeah, you say, I mean, you've had a tough year, ups and downs. You've been so close so many times, especially at the last race. How important are these points, and also for the team morale?
It's more morale. Like, yeah, Oliver's already won the championship, so massive congrats to him. I'm super happy for him. He's such a good friend of mine, and yeah, super pleased. But points for me, like, yeah, I'm like 6th in the championship, 7th or something like that. So I'm not too bothered, but it's just being back on the podium and morale is really the biggest thing.
I'm back next year. Thanks, Jake.
P2 then for Jake Dennis, some reward after the struggles that Andretti have faced over the last couple of seasons. Let's catch up with Jean-Eric Vergne, P3 for the DS Penske driver.
Jean-Eric Vergne starting P18 on the grid, and now you're back on the podium. At the first energy reveal, you were way up on everyone else. How did you manage to do that today?
Well, I guess I took it a little bit easy at the beginning, and yeah, it feels nice to be on the podium, especially after the bad luck of yesterday. I think another podium yesterday would have been possible, so yeah, overall quite happy with the weekend. It was a strong one, and I think the team deserve a little bit of reward. So yeah, I'm happy for the guys, and it was a good race.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jean-Eric Vergne on the podium then here in Tempelhof. That's his second podium finish of the season. Also, of course, got a 1-2 finish with DS Penske in Shanghai as well. Oliver Rowland, though, the man of the moment here in Berlin.
Well, what a race. Huge, huge congratulations to Oliver Rowland on his first ever Formula E World Championship title. I mean, obviously a massive moment for Nick Cassidy as well. Propels himself up in the championship to P4. What a remarkable result, but ultimately today's about Oliver Rowland.
Yeah, it's all about Oliver Rowland. Being world champion for the first time, like, I could just see how much that meant to him there. His family, hearing his daughter come over the radio. I mean, I don't think there was a dry eye in all of the grandstands, in the pit lane. It's just so special.
It really is. I mean, this is going to be a moment that he remembers for the rest of his life. This is what he's been working towards since he started, you know, karting in Yorkshire all those years ago. He won Formula Renault and had a pretty fierce competition in F2, but this is the moment he's been really waiting for, to be crowned a world champion.
Yeah, it's fantastic for him or for any driver that wins a world championship. You know, it's no better way to say thank you to all the people who helped you to support you to get to that level. It's so hard, you know, the competition is so fierce. You have to be at the right place at the right time. And yeah, it's a great satisfaction. You have arrived, something that really changes your life forever. And yeah, it's the best moment to feel satisfaction. And you know, he's a one-time world champion now. I'm sure he's looking at more. That's how the mentality of a racing driver goes. But now he's enjoying this moment, and he deserves it.
But ironically, halfway through the race, I don't think any of us would have predicted that we would be celebrating this moment right now. You know, Pascal Wehrlein was right at the top with Oliver Rowland. It looked like, I suppose, a strategy error from Pascal Wehrlein's perspective, taking the lead, using up too much energy, dropping back, and then just wasn't able to make up those places with his second attack mode.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't just Pascal, but it was all the Porsche powertrain cars. We saw both the Cooper Heroes at the front, we saw both the Porsche drivers at the front. They all seemed to be having a lovely time of it. Looked very comfortable out front, but they were over-consuming energy. As soon as we saw the first energy refill, we kind of knew they were down a few percent, but they had track position, so you know, you're weighing up in your mind whether that they still have the advantage or not. And it proved towards the end of the race, especially when Pascal took a second attack mode. He was down in the order because he had to under-consume to get back onto energy level footing with the rest of the field. And he was stuck in traffic because everyone else was taking their attack mode too. He couldn't make the progress that someone like Oliver Rowland, where he just cut his way through the field when he used attack mode. So one of those things where maybe some miscalculations there.
Well, let's not take anything away from the fact that it was a brilliant win for Jaguar and Nick Cassidy. Let's go to the podium celebrations.
Jean-Eric Vergne on the podium for the second time this season for DS Penske. Brought home a 1-2 finish with the team back in Shanghai, finishing second on that occasion, and makes it another second place finish for that outfit. Great result for Jean-Eric Vergne. I beg your pardon, top three finish here today. P3 for Jean-Eric Vergne. Dennis, of course, in second place, but again, DS Penske will be absolutely delighted with that. Jake Dennis as well, spoke to him on the grid, and he said, well, there's only one way we can go from this race, and it's forwards. We can go further than I did yesterday. I don't think he quite realised how far up he would be able to get. Fantastic race that. It had twists, turns and drama right until the checkered flag, and well, the upshot is that we see Jake Dennis also taking his second podium finish of the season. He was P3 in Monaco and P2 this afternoon here in Berlin.
16th on the grid, 18th Jean-Eric Vergne, and the winner, Nick Cassidy, 20th.
Amazing. Well, who says that Formula E doesn't entertain? This man here, though, Nick Cassidy. Well, it has been a trying season for him, and finally he was able to turn his fortunes around back in Shanghai. And he is cementing why he is a driver that is held in such high esteem within this championship. That was an absolutely cracking race from the Kiwi. He will stand on the top step of the podium to the plaudits of the crowd. His third win at this Tempelhof circuit. Jaguar's 19th victory in Formula E, and also they win consecutive races for the first time since 2023 as well. Now time for the national anthems.
Die Nationalhymne des Gewinners. And now the national anthem of the winning driver from New Zealand.
National anthem of New Zealand plays out for Nick Cassidy. Now time for the national anthem of our winning team, Jaguar TCS Racing.
United Kingdom.
God Save the King plays out for Jaguar TCS Racing for a second successive day here in Tempelhof. And Nick Cassidy, his third win at this circuit. And delight for Jaguar as well. 2 wins in 2 races, couldn't really ask for much better than that. Mitch Evans also bringing it home in 5th to repeat their result in reverse format from yesterday. Now time for the trophies to be presented. Team's trophy, first of all, presented to Gary Ekbold. Great to see him on the podium. Plays a crucial role within that team, as do so many. And he holds the trophy aloft here in Germany to the delight of that team.
Yeah, Gary been there since the very beginning of Jaguar Racing.
Yeah, 9 seasons ago now. Now time for the Girls on Track representative, Julia Cortadolfia. The third place trophy presented to Jean-Eric Verne there. Second podium finish in 3 weekends in Formula E.
Next, please welcome Andrew Carlisle, Fortescue Managing Director of
Now
Motorsport,
Fortescue
to present the trophy
Managing Director, Motorsport and Consulting. Andrew Carlisle presents the second place trophy to Jake Dennis. As he said, something for him to smile about. Season 9 world champion hasn't had it easy over the last 18 months. Great for him to visit the rostrum for the Andretti Porsche team once again, despite the fact that we saw Andretti's all inside the top 5 in that race. Only one finishes on the podium. Pascal Wehrlein at the end of that was down in 16th place at the checkered flag, believe it or not. This race fell apart like a cheap watch. Now time for the FIA medal to be presented, first of all, to Nick Cassidy, his second one of the season. Great job from the Kiwi. And now time then for the winner's trophy once more.
And finally, please welcome Manfred Sandbichler, Senior
Manfred
Director
Sandbichler, the Hankook Motorsports Europe Director, once again presents the winner's trophy here in Berlin. And it is awarded to Nick Cassidy. 2 in a row for Jaguar TCS Racing. They're like London buses, you wait for one and then 2 come along all at once. Great result for that team. Delight for the back at the base in Kidlington as well. And now time for the champagne showers to begin. Thankfully, in the sunshine today in Germany. What a weekend it has been. Drama, delight, disappointment, and action aplenty. And I cannot wait for the finale of the championship as we head into London in a fortnight's time with our new world champion of 2025, Oliver Rowland, on the grid.
Weltmeisterschaft 2025. Join us in
Now
London
time
for round
for the
15
team to enjoy the champagne here in Berlin as well, as Nick Cassidy grabs the bottle of Tatttinger and pops it down to his team. Let's see whether they can grab this. A lot of anticipation. Thankfully, not such a big drop as some other circuits that we've seen. And unfortunately for Gary Ekbold, time to run and take cover. He did his Achilles earlier on this year as well, so I don't think he's going to be running away anytime soon. Thankfully for James Barclay, the outgoing team principal, he's tall enough to be able to grab it. Great result for that team. They really do live and breathe Formula E. And a great way for James Barclay to sign off his career in this championship as well. He's off to the McLaren Hypercar project from 2026, and we wish him all the very best of his successful future endeavours. He's been instrumental in that team's success over the last couple of seasons, and I'm very excited to see what the future brings for that team. Who will be at the helm as team principal in 2026? We're still not 100% sure at the moment, but I'm sure time will tell, and we'll have a clearer picture of that going into the final weekend of the championship in London. And a weekend where the pressure is off for the first time since 2020 as well. The last time that we had a championship not decided at the final race of the season was when Antonio Felix da Costa won it for DS Techeetah, when we were here, funnily enough, in Berlin. 6 races in 9 days. Not that the Jaguar TCS Racing team are worrying too much about that at the moment, I have to say. They're enjoying their time in the sunshine for the first time this weekend as well. And they've got Taylor Swift and Love Story up for Nick Cassidy as well. It's his favourite song. What a story it has proven to be. From 20th on the grid, he celebrated in front of the crowd here in Berlin. What a race from that man. These peloton-style, high-energy pack races, whatever you want to refer to them as, he always seems to come out smelling of roses, doesn't he? Just in the right place at the right time, but that's not down to luck, that's down to his racecraft and his ingenuity, his ability to think on the move. And again, that is one of the reasons why he is held in such high esteem within the Formula E World Championship. I can't wait to see what he's going to get up to for season 12. We understand he's not going to be staying put at Jaguar TCS Racing, possibly setting foot over at a Stellantis-powered team. Whether that will be the Maserati MSG team or DS Penske at the moment remains to be seen, but that is the rumour that is on the lips of many people in the paddock here this weekend. Of course, there's a lot of other rumours going on as well. We're sort of waiting for that first domino to fall. And the question is, who then will take the place of Nick Cassidy at that team for next season? Could it be maybe Antonio Felix da Costa? Do they look at another option, maybe Taylor Barnard perhaps? He's a young, promising hot shot. Finished P6 today, did Taylor Barnard. A race of what might have been. He got very unlucky with that safety car period whilst he was in attack mode. Meanwhile, Jaguar TCS Racing, the whole team now on the podium here in Berlin. 2 wins in 2 days. And they've got a bit of time to enjoy it as well. Fortnight to go until we head to London for the last 2 races of season 11. Can't wait to see what is going to happen there. I'm sure this man here, Nick Cassidy, will be looking to sign off his season in style after a fantastic run of form towards the end of 2025. What a race, what a weekend it has been here in Berlin. We have a new world champion and we have a double winner for Jaguar TCS Racing. See you in London.
Well, we have written another name in the history books here at Berlin Tempelhof, and it is one man's name going in it. Oliver Rowland for Nissan is now a Formula E World Champion. The celebrations could be heard and echoed around the paddock. A huge amount of work has been done over the course of this season to get to this moment. But I am delighted to say we are now in the presence, ladies and gentlemen, of a world champion, Oliver Rowland. Congratulations, we are not worthy. Has it settled in? Has it sunk in?
Not at all, honestly. That race for me was a bit damage limitation, especially with the speed that Pascal had. So it's just unbelievable. I mean, the amount of hours and sim hours and work and the last 6 years that you put in, you kind of dream of this. And it's going to take some time, I think, and a few beers later to sink in.
At what point in the race did you think, oh, hang on a minute, this might be possible. I could sew it up today.
Well, I think Pascal must have took 2 minutes. But
yeah,
I thought when he ran out, I thought he had a puncture or something because he just went backwards so quickly. And then I thought he might have been out of the race. And then they came on the radio with 5 laps to go and they were like, P4 should be enough. And I was like, oh, he's not in the points then because they didn't tell me before. But yeah, I mean, I was just trying to do the best race I could and not thinking about that too much. And it turned out okay.
When you look at that particular race, though, you said it was damage limitation. Did you think at all today, after yesterday, which wasn't a very good race in reality, that you could clinch it?
No, it was not in my mind. The way my mind works is a little bit weird. I was literally thinking 23 points is going to be my advantage going into London because I just didn't feel quite right before the race. Honestly, I can't tell you. I had nerves, but I could have cried at the same time. Like after the mistake that I made yesterday, having the grid penalty, but also not feeling great, I felt really strange before the race.
Well, Ollie, you say you've got a weird mind, but you've got the mind of a world champion, mate. But just talk us through your journey in Formula E, because it's not been straightforward. You've not arrived in the championship and hit the ground running. You've taken a year out at points and come back refreshed. Like, how important is it to think of the whole journey, and how much more does it mean to you now because of that?
Well, when I arrived, I was fast, but I was a bit out of control. He knows. he taught me a few lessons. But I did a lot of poles, but I wasn't rounded. And then I kind of just started to become rounded, and I left Nissan for Mahindra, which in hindsight was not the right decision for my results. But I got to a point at Mahindra where I wasn't wanting to race much anymore. I lost a bit of motivation. I wasn't enjoying myself, and I decided to take a big punt to get out. And I knew coming back here that I had a team that appreciated me, loved me, and could really support me. And I took a big risk to do that. And since I've been back, we've just got unbelievable results. And this is just like the perfect fairy tale.
Yeah, amazing, Ollie. Like, being a world champion, I always say, like, you know, when you win a race like Le Mans or World Championship, there's no better way of saying thank you to all the people that helped you, because it's been a journey for us drivers since go-karts to have that dream to succeed, and you know how hard it is. So tell us a bit about the journey and the dream you had since you were little.
Well, obviously every kid grows up wanting to be a Formula One driver. I wanted to be a...
He's coming in, Alberto Longo. Go on then, ask him a question then as you're here joining us.
This is unbelievable. I mean, having someone like Oliver winning, it's a little bit of a pity, I have to say. I was trying, you know, to get to London.
You should have had a word, come on.
Well done, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alberto.
I know you dream of being in Formula One from a young age, and you work, and what people don't see is that 95% of a racing driver's results in life is hard. You know, to pick yourself back up week in, week out. And when you get a good run like this, you really learn to appreciate it the older you get. And I think that's something that I've really got now. I know I'm in a good place and a great team, and I'm really appreciative of that now, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Oliver, you have got a little headset there. I'm going to ask you a little favour. Yeah, I'll hold that for you. No. I feel like I've been honestly doing all the crying for you today. When your mum sent that message earlier, I cried. When your daughter sent the message, I cried. My mascara's been everywhere. But listen to this.
World champion. What an amazing achievement, mate. I'm so proud of you. And you've proved us all wrong that lads from Barnsley can become world champions.
Just want to say huge congratulations on winning the World Championship. It's been amazing to watch all season.
Congratulations, Ollie. World champion. You didn't think that was coming, did you? Well, I did. I believed in you from day one, and I'm over the moon and so proud of you that you've won the World Championship.
Congratulations on winning your World Championship. You girls are so incredibly proud of you. We love you so much.
Congratulations, Ollie! Olé, 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 olé! Olé, olé!
Ah, never in doubt the support of your family.
No, amazing. I mean, yeah, seeing my daughter as well. Like I was saying to somebody before, like when you grow up as a racing driver, all you think about is racing, and when you become a father, that changes, and there's different priorities in your life. And seeing her, she makes me really proud, and I hopefully one day she can watch this back and enjoy it. So yeah, I can't wait to see them.
Oh no, she's been a very special part of your journey on the podium a few times.
Yeah, and my wife, I must mention.
Yes,
my wife. I don't really
course, yeah.
I'll be in a lot of trouble.
Now, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be heading to London for a doubleheader. Are you going to take the weekend off, or are you going to come and join us for the final two races?
I think I'll join you. We've got a team championship to win as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's the spirit.
Brilliant. Well, here is everything to look forward to in 2 weeks in London.
The final race of the season.
Mind the gap.
Eyes on the lights, and we're underway here in London. I don't believe it! Winner takes all. It all comes down to this. Oliver Rowland is the 2025 Formula E World Champion!
3 minutes.
So lots to look forward to in 2 weeks' time. Also, something to look forward to is just in a moment. Now, if you remember at the start of the race, we had to do our race predictions. Billy, who did you say again?
Why are you looking at me?
I can't
why are you looking
remember.
at me,
Who was
Nikki?
your race prediction?
I thought Pascal from Pole would win the race. Sorry, Ollie.
Ollie, you had my vote. You had my vote. What a shame. That means you have a forfeit to do. I would like you to just disappear for a minute and then come back into shot.
Okay, all right.
So, Oliver, you know, we do just have 2 short weeks left. There is still a lot to play for, as we've mentioned. Porsche, Nissan, the gap is doable.
I think it's doable.
I think it's 20-something points at the moment.
I mean, I can pressure off now. I mean, you perform better when there's not this hanging over you. So I'm looking forward to getting there, putting some good laps in and doing the best race I can. And for us, there's little pressure. You know, it wasn't on our to-do list this year. The drivers was, but the teams wasn't. So there's no pressure on us. I think they missed out on it last year, and hopefully they can do the same again this year.
We are now going to go to Saunders, who has a quick word from Antonio Felix da Costa.
And, you know, he's won it now. So firstly, massive congratulations to Oliver and Nissan. They very, very deserved. It was I don't want to call it dominant, but not far from that from him. So, yeah, a very deserved champion. I hope he enjoys it well with his family. I saw him quickly. He's very emotional, and as he should be. So happy for that. On the other hand, yeah, we're leading the teams by 22 points. So that's going to be the goal now for London and try and take that trophy back to Germany.
Thanks, Antonio.
Cool. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, some lovely words congratulating you from Antonio Felix da Costa. We've got to let you go because I think you're going to get fined otherwise for being late for the press conference. So once again, massive congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, your Formula E World Champion, Oliver Rowland.
World champion.
Enjoy. Enjoy some celebrations and the taste of champagne. Oh, what a moment to just be able to just finally let it all out and relax. He's got a world championship in the bank.
Yeah, and for the whole year, we're going to call him a world champion. You know, he's going to go pick up his trophy at the FIA ceremony. There's going to be a lot of celebrations, probably go to Japan. So he's going to probably enjoy that a lot. And also, yeah, focus still for the last race in London,
well,
like you said.
Exactly. I mean, there is still a lot to play for, particularly when it comes to that team's championship. But on that note, oh my God, Billy Munger has arrived.
I'm coming
just to finish off the show.
What do we reckon, team? I think I might wear it on the plane home.
What an outfit.
He is a strong old man, isn't he?
Where did you find this, Nikki?
I have my sources. I have my sources.
More importantly, what is it?
I actually don't know, Alan, if I'm completely honest. But it's a look. It's a certain look. I'm a bit gutted Ollie Rowland, our champion, didn't get to see it, although it might have upset him a little bit.
I think you could just find him and he'd be happy to celebrate with you. Go and find some champagne together.
I'll find him.
Well, there we have it. We have written the new chapter in the history books. Oliver Rowland is our world champion. But do join us in 2 short weeks as we head to London for a team's championship to be decided.
Round 14 in Berlin, a championship on the line. It's now or never time for Berlin. Oliver Rowland could become world champion. Who will win in Berlin as the lights go out and we go racing? Good start from Berlin. Nice one from Tictum off the front row of the grid as well. Rowland gets about 2 places in the space of 1 corner and he's now into 5th position. Barnard goes for the lead here on Pascal Wehrlein. The gap's going to open there for Barnard. That's a lunge. There's contact. Muller and Bird under investigation.
Wehrlein's dropping back. It's all about Rowland.
Cassidy comes across the line to take victory. Oliver Rowland is the 2025 World Champion!
Daddy is the world champion!
I don't know what to say.